I'm doing really well, mate. Really pumped for today. It's been a great day so far. The clouds are just going. I'll tell you what, I'm very grateful that we've got this little TV monitor and the boys upstairs sending us down the signal so we can see the play.
Mate, Benny's doing a fantastic job up there so far. He's got half of the Reggie's game, which we could see there, mate. He's an absolute champion. A
big shout out to Ben and Braith upstairs, and joining us, of course, Joshy Day, mate, part of the Footy TV Fever panel. How are you going?
Reggie, how are you, mate?
Oh, pump, ready for this.
Should be a good one.
And we've got another special guest from 2NM joining us. Yes, well, you've even brought in the big guns, Pete Holland.
Professionals.
Mate, how are you, boys?
Oh, mate, sensational. Glad to have you here with us, of course, for this day.
Mate, fantastic day, great initiative, and I was in the change rooms a little bit earlier when the jumpers were being given out to the Scone boys. Very emotional scenes.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. And it's always a big emotional sense that when where there's a wheel, jumpers get handed out. The boys are very passionate about the cause. Very like the game today. I'm going to see a bit of raw emotion coming out there today because they're certainly playing not only for the game but where there's a wheel cause, mate. So yeah, interesting to be in the sheds, mate. What was your reflection when you walked out?
Mate, the Scone boys look very focused. They're ready to roll. They are ready to roll, and I think they're going to be hard to beat here today.
Absolutely.
Just had Daffy Reynolds come over, of course, one of the organisers. They're going to have the photo at halfway with the two sides, Singleton and Scone, and then they're going to have a minute's silence, of course, in honour of Will and of course, those that have been involved in the tragedy that has been what came about for Where There's a Will. So, fantastic day. I can't take my hat off enough to Mick Reynolds. Like, I love the bloke. He's a really good bloke, but what he's done, and with his team, mate, he hasn't stopped. The phone calls haven't stopped to different people. Can you do? And everyone is willing to help out a bloke like that goes an extra bit.
And he's like I said, it's not only Will. You know, there's Pauline and Hilton behind it, and the Where's a Will Foundation. There's the whole Scone club here. Look at them. There's people running around there everywhere. Volunteers, Guernseys on, or jackets, staff, and not only through the Scone club. There's a whole lot of other clubs here as well that are just jumping on board as well, Reggie, that, yeah, if you want something done, mate, they're more than happy to jump in and help you.
And, of course, we have new equipment here with us today, so we actually have a little video screen that we can see every piece of the action that the boys are videoing from upstairs, so that's going to be fantastic as the Scone Thoroughbreds take the field right now. Camera flashes going off everywhere. It's beautiful scenes right here at Scone Park. A loud crowd, as you can hear, right through from juniors to seniors today. But also, boys, the wireless microphones are back and the wireless headsets from Matty Kenny.
Mate, he's taken me job. Joshy Day, he just jumped straight in. The people's been axed. He's just over there now. He's just managed to collar Jai Bailey, the Singleton first grade coach. He's going to bring him over and have a quick yarn to him. I'll just see if I can run a microphone over to him and see if we can
make sure you turn that microphone on.
He took off without the other set.
Yeah, I thought he could have just talked to him over there.
He could have done, mate. He can go everywhere with
I think you're already on. Matt's just going to check everything, but I'll run through the Scone side while we do that. Hayden Topless is at fullback. On the wings, Tim Smith and Ronan Hatton. The centres are Josh Adams and Joel Harrison. 5'8" is Adam Clydesdale. Jake Watts at halfback. Tom Hagan in the front row with Mick Radford. Jared Wicks at hooker. Isaac Austin and JJ Upthorpe in the second rower. Lock is Dan Ritter. The bench is Jake Collison, John Johnson, Ryan Hawkshaw, Tom P. That's what we've got to find out.
We've got to find out too, Tom P.
And Gary McKean. Welcome, Jai, mate. You've been a great contributor to what we've been doing behind the scenes, and to finally get you on a microphone, it's fantastic. What's the message to the boys before the game today?
Yeah, not a great deal, just to believe in themselves. We've got a few out today, as we have all year, but it's no excuse. We've got the depth there to do it. We've got the boys there. We've got a great feel within the club and within first grade, so it was just to believe in themselves and go out there and get the job done.
Great looking set of jerseys too that they're wearing today.
Yeah, they look great, and to Mick Reynolds and all the crew that's doing all the Where There's a Will stuff, well done to them. Congratulations on how far it's come.
Just on that, Reggie, if you notice, Happy Gilmore, young Carl Gilmore, has worn the number 16 jersey out in front of Lukey Gardner, the captain. That's the 16 Guernsey that young Blake tragically died in the fire through Singleton. The Singleton Junior League have actually retired the 16 Guernsey. So in respect to that, young Carl has worn the 16 out to lead the Singleton team, Jai. A great spot too, mate.
Yeah, Carl's actually the coach of the under-12s team. Yeah, there's two of the sides there, and Carl's one of the coaches. So, obviously it was tragic what happened through the week, and just out of respect for Blake, Carl wanted to lead us out in that number 16, which is great.
No, it's great, and the Singleton community really rallying behind that family too, mate, which is great. Yeah,
the support for them has been great, and I think we've got to keep supporting not only that family but all the boys that were really good friends with Blake and the two twins as well. Kept behind them for a long time to come. And
that leapfrogs into the Where There's a Will and where the Will Foundation is about too. So that's good.
That's correct. Yep.
Hey, mate, just who's out for the day? Can you give us a quick and what's the injury updates?
Off the top of my head, we've still got Jimmy Bradley out, Tommy Johnson, Frank Paul, and Jay Ferry. So
right out.
Yeah, we've got a few out, but no excuses today.
We'll catch you at half time, mate. Thanks you very
mate.
much.
Thanks, Phil.
We're going to have a minute's silence right now here at Scone. So just
remember the 3 young children that was
it's a minute's silence for the 3 young children that lost their life in the hot fire at Singleton. So.
Thank you all.
If you've just joined us, we're just having a minute's silence there for the 3 young guys, children that lost their lives down in Singleton in the house fire during the week. It wasn't for the Will, where there's a Will Foundation, I thought, but tragic event down there in Singleton, but great to see, like you said, Carl Gilmore leading him out in the number 16 jersey.
Yeah, absolutely great initiative again there, Reggie. But Josh, talking to Jai Bailey, got quite a few out there still, mate. We'll quickly run through that Singleton side, mate. Jake Hardy, he's going to take up the backs there, mate, in the centres. Josh.
Yes, we've got Morgan Amity, we've got Luke Gardner and Jaden Stewart in the centres. Ethan Coe on the opposite wing. We've got Brody Rinkin and Jordan Watson in the halves. Zach Solomon and Nick Rinkin are up front today with Nick Cox at hooker. In the back row, we've got Ethan Edwards, Will Newinghouse and Dale Watson. And on the bench today, we've got Matt Brock. We've got
Jake Willis,
sorry, my bad. Carl Gilmore and Nelson Gardner.
Yeah, well done, mate. And quite a few different ones in there, Reggie. Certainly, Will Newinghouse moving into the back row there, Josh. He's definitely he's a fullback.
Yep.
Has played all of his game out the back, and Wilton moving into back row there, Reggie. Certainly different, mate.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it'll be a great addition to the Singleton lineup. I'll just get you to take it from here for a minute, Matty.
Yeah, certainly, mate. And I can't even see what's going on out there at the moment.
Okay, no, that's all right, mate.
1,000 people in front of me. You've got the screen in front of you.
Get the messages there as from dummy half. They pass it on to number 7, Jordan Watson, who kicks it downfield. It's going down deep into it. It's going to go dead. I'm just watching it on the screen here, and it's gone dead. Timmy Smith allowing it to go over the dead ball line as they bring it back out for a 7-set of tackles. It's going to be I've got all these people standing in front of us.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Joel Harrison taking the tap as he takes it forward. He's met there in defence by number 9, who is Nick Cox.
Nick Cox is in the dummy half role today,
as
mate.
JJ Apthorpe takes a hit up forward. He's tackled by Luke Gardner and Ethan Edwards. Played back to dummy half, that was an acting dummy half, Adam Clydesdale, on to Tommy Hagan. He's taken it forward and belted for his efforts. As here we go, Ritter offloads to Radford. Geez, he goes hard and forward all the time. He's tackled there by Watson. He goes from dummy half, Clydesdale again. Off to Wicks. Wicks on to JJ Apthorpe, and for the life of me, boys.
Yeah,
I can't see.
Very hard to see.
Oh, it's an intercept. That is going to be an intercept. Number 4, Jaden Stewart. He's down over the 30-metre line. He's just been pulled up. You could read that like a book. It was coming. It was that big of a cut.
He's called that 2 plays before.
Yeah. As here we go, number 12 with the ball for Newinghouse takes it flat out. That's going to be great for him there. Playing in the second row, I think it's going to show us a different side of his football skills. Number 10 is Nick Rinkin. He's taken the ball forward, and Nick Cox into dummy half. Cox passes it out to Watson. Watson runs across, but he passes a short flat ball to Ethan Edwards. He's got the leg drive, but he's not over the try line. He's tackled millimetres short. Cox to dummy half. Passes it out the back to Watson. Oh, a ball to nobody, but it's been cleaned up there by Dale Watson. He takes it to the ground. They're now 20 metres out centre field. Watson plays the ball back. Cox dummy half off to Watson. Here he goes with a little rubber for himself. It's gone in behind there. Hayden Topless has cleaned it up, but he's been met there by Watson and taken to the ground.
Good start by Singleton, I think. I think they just when they get down this area, though, they just can't get pressured. They've just got to focus on just repeat sets when they're down this end.
That's exactly right. And there we go. Our first penalty for the match goes towards Scone for a head-eye tackle. And
We mic'd up today, mate.
we are mic'd up for today. Sorry, thank you very much. Doing everything at the one time I'm trying to at the moment, but we are mic'd up for CR. So
Sorry, mate. Don't mean to put you under pressure at all.
no, not at all. I don't know whether he's on, no, but can't hear him at the moment. So
Righto.
that's not a problem at all. I think I've gone
Yeah,
you've turned yourself
off,
down.
Champion. Back to Clydesdale.
Runs a professional outfit, doesn't he?
That's all over the shop, this new mixing board at the moment, but there we go. I'm back with it.
Got you now, big fella.
Yeah, I was trying to look after Jesse more than myself. As there he's going to have the ball, he tries to offload on the 40-metre line, about 25 metres in from this western side, off to Ritter. Ritter's taking it towards the basketball end of the ground, and he's tackled 30 metres out, 25 metres out from the try line. Jones from dummy half, Clydesdale puts a kick in. There's nobody at home, is there? No, there's number 5, Ethan Coe's got the ball. Will he get out of there? No, he'll be trapped in his own in-goal area.
Good pressure from Scone, boys. It's a nice little repeat set there for him.
Great repeat set.
Good vision to see that no one was home and to put that little kick through.
Yeah.
So those little 1%ers that Scone seem to be good at, you know, that kick chase, that really pressure around the footy. And I think that's one thing which Singleton really lacked in that opening period.
Well, you notice Clydesdale's got the 6 on his back there, Josh, because he's actually playing more of the acting half role rather than the 5'8". So, and jump out and can kick from dummy half, which has got the repeat set there. Drop out from Watson goes about 30, 40, 48 metres on the fly.
Taken on the chest by Wicks, and there we go. Tom Hagan, he'd be loving it today being out there. He's tackled on the 30-metre line. Clydesdale into dummy half, off to Watts. Watts passes it around. He's directing play around the back there. Topless standing around the back. Here goes Watts with the ball. Watts runs the ball. He's done with decoys. Oh, decoy run there was sensational by Isaac Austin, but he couldn't get over the try. He goes to Clydesdale from dummy half. He's very dangerous. Oh, we've just had Ritter taken out as a decoy runner, but fair play, says the referee. Dummy half, Watts off to Wicks into Topless. Topless, he had to reach out. What a try. Hayden Topless. That just comes off that back-to-back set of 6 boys.
Mate, a nice little shift left there, then a shift left, nice little settling play, and then a bang out to the right. Topless on the run there. Nice little line cut back in from a hot line there, Josh. Jared Wicks in at the 6. He's normally a 9. That's swapped over. Playing good football at the moment there, Josh.
Yeah, I agree. The thing about Singleton, though, they don't seem to be shuffling enough of what they should be in defence. They've got to really start working, closing that gate. I think communication out there might be one of the issues as well. Scone just look like they're up for the job today. They just look like they're ready in all facets. Yeah, there was 8 intercepts, but they reacted really, really well. And, Singleton have to change what they're doing at the moment. Otherwise, could blow out here.
Pete, you've seen a lot of Group 21 footy?
Mate, speed of the play, the ball at the moment's getting Singleton, and that's how that try came about there. They just weren't quick enough to react.
It is rather difficult to see too, but at the moment, Singleton, of course, they've been good. They had that opportunity down there at the other end, but that wayward pass, the pass that just went to the ground between the players, and Watson had to clean it up.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure there, mate. And look, it's only early days, 3 minutes into the game, or 6 minutes into the game, or thereabouts. It's disappointing to see the old Singleton put it down, but Scone have come back very, very quickly and come in as who's taking the kicks here today, mate? I can't quite see. Who's young Watts, is it? He'll slot that. No, he hasn't.
Waved it away.
Waved that away. So the score's still 4-0. 33 minutes to go in the first half. Singleton will take it back and kick off. But boys, end-to-end football straight up, and certainly a lot of passion out there, as you predicted, Josh, in the early stages. Scone are very, very much out there to play for something today.
Yeah, as this game unfolds, I'm really interested to see how Will Newinghouse is going to go second row. That speed around the ruck, I think that's going to be really, really vital to how Singleton and how they go forward the rest of the game.
Totally.
Right, on focus now, boys, as Jake Hardy kicks off.
Got it now, have you?
He's kicked it towards the sideline. It's going to go out in the full. It's been waved over by Corey Martin. It's not going to help things.
Where's me music? Where's me
Where's
music?
it, Benny Hill music, you reckon? Half
Where's
day.
the
Not
music?
just yet, not just yet. An awkward error. But just trying to get the camera to follow the play here as we're taking the tap by Clydesdale. He's going, oh, look at this, Rinkin again.
Great run.
Leg speed, wow.
He is
Coming in hard.
Look at the play the balls though. They're trying to get the quick play the ball. That's got to be a penalty. He's had his arm in there. Here goes Isaac Austin. No, it was Clydesdale from dummy half took a scoot, and he's gone with it. Zoom out, boys. As what's off to Ritter. Ritter brings underneath Tom Hagan. Tom Hagan takes it to the 20-metre line. He's tackled nearly in front of the field. Clydesdale at dummy half, off to Watts. Watts around the back, passes it out to Wicks. Wicks has got to pick someone up going flat. It's Freddie Adams. Freddie Adams has gone back to where the ball was played. He'll be brought down in a great tackle there.
Again, good leg drive from all the Scone guys. You can see first contact to ground, Josh, is at least 6 to 8 metres.
And Topless is surging for the try line again, going for his second, but he's pulled up just short of the try line. His last tackle, what are their options? Go for a repeat set, boys. Here we go. Watts with the ball. He's put the chip for the corner. It's to a jumping Tim Smith. He'll catch that. Oh, no. He's offloaded it and passed it back.
It was a good league, but yeah, definitely got to be a knock on.
Oh, that looked like a knock on. That looked like it come off Timmy Smith first.
It did. He jumped too early.
Yeah.
He jumped too
very
early.
Much, that's a good play. Look at the size of Tim Smith on this left wing against Ethan Coe, who's about 3'8" at the best of times. You got Timmy Smith at 6'2". I'm going to see that play going to be played out a lot more today, Reg.
Yeah, here goes young Morgan Amity. He was great last weekend with his leg speed. Look at him still going for the. He's a skinny critter, but he's makes good yards. Into dummy half goes Cox. He's going to find Gardner. Gardner goes over the 40-metre line. He's still got his legs pumping. He's nearly at the halfway line. He's pulled down. He took Tommy Hagan for a little bit of a drag along. Cox at dummy half. He goes to the left-hand side. He picks up Zach Solomon, the big front rower that Zach Solomon is.
A little bit quiet, mate.
He's played in the ball over the other side of the halfway line. They're in Scone's territory. And here goes Rinkin, is it? Rinkin with the ball straight and hard. As they said, no Fred Paul today, so he'll be doing a lot of running from the front row. But they're picked out. Taden Topless on the full. The ball's got to go to ground. I don't know why Singleton's kicking game is kicking it straight to the player.
Their first 2 kicks today have been reasonably ordinary. They've definitely got to lift that.
As here we go from dummy half. Isaac Austin taking another hit up. He's up to the halfway line before he's brought down by Newenhouse, who's playing in the second row today. And it looks like number 6, who is Brody Rinkin. Brody Rinkin, of course, I said Matty Kenny last week. He was pretty quiet compared to his first game in 5'8".
Oh, a lot of pressure on Brody, and he's playing on the right side there. He's got Jaden Stewart just on his outside. I think that's only his return to first grade. As the last comes up, Watts will put a grubber through to the right-hand side. It'll be cleaned up by Jake Hardy. Jake Hardy will bring it back to about 10 and play it 10 out and 20 in from the eastern touchline. Hands in the air there from Jordan Watson. Young Morgan Amity comes in for a good sprint. He'll leg drive up to about the 35-metre line. And Brody Rinkin, he'll step into dummy half. He'll out to Dale Watson. Dale Watson will get taken down by Jake Watts and Isaac Austin. Young Nick Cox will step into the acting half. Out to Jaden Stewart. Jaden Stewart, a little ducking and dive and run. And it's very, very, very hard with a Jake Watts tackle and put on the deck. Little scoot from Will Newenhouse, the one we talked about there. And he's through. He's up over the 40. He's got 2 to beat. A little step on. He's around both of them, and he'll score.
Yeah. Great try.
He'll score about
Great try.
10 yards out on the eastern side of the line. Again, you spoke about it earlier there, Josh, the dynamics of Will Newenhouse around the ruck, and it's just paid off big time in that one, mate.
Mate, it really come from nothing as well. I tell you what, the thing about Scone, they seem to be fronting their front all the time, and they compare that to when Singleton got the footy always on their back, but geez, they needed that, Singleton.
Mate, they certainly did, and a good return from him. Again, we talked about the play the ball earlier, Pete. I think you'll notice that ruck, that set of 6 there from the Singleton side, certainly a lot quicker.
Yeah, they definitely got a quick play the ball there and letting go, stepping around them. I thought for sure they had him covered.
Will Newenhouse, any time around the ruck is deadly, let alone from a bit of broken play there, Josh, and he's deadly. The Scone really got to react to that and slow him down, mate.
He's doing a lot of work early though, and I think his other front rowers need to step up and start carrying the footy a lot more. I think I've seen 1 carry from Zach Solomon already, and it's been 11 minutes into the game, so the boys are going to have to start working a little bit harder around him, otherwise he will gas out pretty quickly, I think.
Well, he's gone down there with a bit of an injury at the moment. Sorry, guys, I was just trying to get the camera angles right and make sure everything's going to be peachy when we get back, but he seems to have sustained a bit of a leg injury from what it looks like.
A bit cold, you never know. He's no
He's no good. He's coming off.
That's not a good thing. Big Willie, the strapper there for Singo, saying no. Looks like a calf or lower down, but that's definitely going to be a blow. Young Jake Willis will go on to take that back row position, and again, you'll lose nothing in that. But the dynamics we just spoke about, Josh, maybe it's very much short-lived.
No, I agree. With the number 10 from Scone, his background, first year in Group 21?
No, number 10 from Scone, Mick Radford.
Yep.
He's made the front row of the year last year.
Yeah, well, his leg speed is just phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
We were told he was leaving after round 8 this year to go overseas, so he's still here. That's bonuses for the Scone side.
The size and legs too. Wow.
The league drive is definitely a good point on Scone.
Jake Hardy moves in and takes this goal, and it's now Singleton leading Scone 6 points to 4. 28 minutes remaining in this half. Singleton really looked at that was a luck there, and great work by Will Newenhouse, but they have to look at their completions.
Well, it was a couple of quick play the balls that got them through to that, and the Scone defence just couldn't keep up with it.
A big turnaround, and we'll have who's doing the kick in there?
It's Jake Watts kicking off. He's going to kick off from the halfway, straight down the centre of the field.
Kicks off.
It's going to the goal post, is it? No, it's not. It's taken there and it's brought forward by big Dale Watson. He's met some solid defence there.
That's a good hit.
That's a good hit with Tommy Hagan. Out from dummy half, he passes it on to Zach Solomon. Zach Solomon's running it. He's coming to a wall of defence. There's 3 on him, trying to bring him down. He's 30 metres out. He's appealing for a quick play the ball. If he doesn't stop giving that lip, he might end up giving away a penalty against the ruck. As here we go, number 11, Ethan Edwards. He's tackled there by Freddie Adams and young Jake Wicks. Dummy half onto Solomon again. Solomon's got a beef in that centre part there.
He's for burning, Josh.
Here we go. He's listening. He's wide up for sound as Cox passes back to ring. Here we go. We're going to go for a run past. No one knew what was happening there. He shaped a kick, Watson, but he didn't kick. And now it's stuck on the halfway line. Last tackle. Here we go, Watson. He passes it again out to Ethan Coe. He's going to have to kick it. It's the last tackle. Is anyone communicating out there? They're not.
Yeah, that's
another.
That's a poor finish for Singleton.
Well, those little 1%ers, isn't it? You know, that could have been a really good set after a try. Mate, no kick at the end of that. That really hurts.
Look, the defence held back when he showed the ball there that he was going to kick and then held it. But on the last play there, definitely had to put in a decent kick, but didn't happen.
If you have a look where Watson actually addressed the line, the way he held the football, everyone was right on the line. That was the time to kick. They were just right in the right spot to push through, Josh, and they would have been all onside. But he's faked and give it to his brother Dale. Basically ended up in a nothing set, really.
Well, I just received a text message from our other commentator, Benko, saying Radford's going away at the end of the regular season.
What would he know? He had Frank Paul going to Curry last year. What would he know?
You had to go for
Here we go. It's Cessnock anyway. He goes to the
somewhere over there.
Well, look, Singleton, even though they didn't finish that last set, got away with a knock on there from Scone that fed the scrum, and away they go.
Yeah, Luke Gardner. It's up over the horizontal, nearly.
Hit.
And that's
a great
very lucky to get away from, but he has to get off. He's not going to get off. He's number 12, JJ Apthorpe.
He's
laying all over young Luke Gardner. I shouldn't say young, but now we've got a penalty.
It was a good drive and hit, mate, and all he needed to do was get off and grab the good work from it. But he's given it away. That's a coach.
And here we go with a quick tap there by Cox, and it's given to Ethan Edwards. He's down that left-hand side corridor at the entry, the gate entry where you come into Scone Field as they play the ball. It's come back to look at him. What did you say to him? Did you have him in your earpiece, Jack Solomon? Josh, he's heard you.
Mind reader, mate. He's a mind reader.
As he goes, Rinkin taking it forward. He bumps off Daniel Clydesdale with a great run, but he's wrestled down to the ground by Tom Hagan. What's going on here?
Well, that's been
he's lost it.
That's been a forward pass.
That's been Singleton's driving force. Those two front rows in the last 2 games. That's been where they've actually won the game. Is in that middle third. Both front rowers punching forward, picking up those back rowers on the edge. And look, it's taken them a little while, Josh. With 24 minutes to go in the game, and they've only just started to actually make those meters, mate.
And, mate, the halves have got to really play off the back of that. And they seem to be like a bit of communication there as well. Yeah. Their outside centres and their wingers, they just don't seem to know what's going on. So I think they work on their communication. I think this should be a really good game today.
As here we go, Joel Harrison's fighting to get to play the ball. He plays it back to Clydesdale. Clydesdale on to Austin. Austin's running forward. He grabs hold of Watson because Watson was told he was offside, obviously, by the referee before he's taken to the ground by number 4, Jaden Stewart. in a good wrestle. Here goes Daniel Ritter, straight and hard, bang, he carries 3 of them. They're trying to get him to the ground, they still can't get into the ground. He's at the halfway line, centre field. Plays it back to Clydesdale. Clydesdale out of dummy half again. When are they going to pick up on that? And a good offload here to Radford. He's made a break. He goes Radford, the front row. He's over there. He's going himself. He'll go all the way. Oh, he's just short. No, he's got up. He got up to play the ball. He's gone down the corner. Well, there you go.
Linesman's put the flag up.
Wow. He's gone out. I didn't quite see that on the screen down here, but Radford's hit the ground. He got up actually to play the ball.
Great run. That's a great run.
And then he stumbled his way towards the line, but he's gone into touch. But he got up to play the ball then.
There's a couple of Singleton players on Singleton's right edge have been left wanting there. I guarantee you, they've gone in for the big hit. Half committed, Josh, I'd say, and ended up on the ground. I mean, you're either in or you ain't, mate.
Well, Jake Hardy only slowed him down then. If it wasn't for Jake Hardy's effort,
I've got to say,
it was a speed bump.
He did. He slowed him down and done his job. But
I think Scone have noticed a weakness out there on this edge.
Yes.
Mate, they've got to fix that hole straight away, otherwise it'll be for a long afternoon.
Well, it's going to be a long afternoon if Will Newenhouse is injured and out for the rest of it. That'll take him down to reserve. As here we go, Singleton have won the scrum feed. They've brought it out to about the 20-metre line. A very slow play, the ball. There goes Watson on to Edwards. Edwards is absolutely crunched there. He's gone for a high tackle. Daniel Ritter, he's penalised him for a high tackle. With the luxury of having this screen here, I was impeded of who was the actual shot, but it didn't look that high. He calls time out, Jesse.
Josh has just been able to see Will, mate, to see what the damage is here, mate. He might be able to give us a bit of a report there.
Blood bin for Ethan Edwards.
So, boys, just spoke to Will Newenhouse. He won't be coming back on. Looks like he might have done his MCL.
Oh!
Yeah, so
and we all cringe and hold our knee at the same time.
Absolutely, and that's a tough one. You got the ACL, the MCL is just as important, no doubt. Yep. Absolutely.
You've had your MCL done?
No, but I've seen it, and it's just as bad. It's the one that comes from the back through to the front rather than the other way around, so it's equally as important.
Reggie, what's MCL stand for?
Medial crucial ligament.
I got it.
See, Dr. Red. Dr.
You know
Red.
what it does, mate?
Yeah, it makes your knee move. Anyways, a kick for touch at halfway line. Singleton. We'll talk about that later.
Come on,
Let me have time to Google it. Here we go. Solomon takes another hit up off the penalty tap. He's made it to the 40-metre line of the Singleton, the Scone side of the footy field. Pete Holland, how you seen it so far?
Mate, so far, it's, Scone got off to a flyer there and had some quick play the ball early in the piece, but, Singleton now are starting to come right back into this, and at times are looking good, but this left edge out here, we just saw a minute ago that it was broken easy again by Singleton, but that'll be just communication, as the boys have said.
As Brody Rinkin turns under Jake Willis and takes it to the 30-metre line, he's tackled and swung to the ground by Isaac Austin. Cocks at dummy half. He's looking for who to pass it to. He gives it off to Watson. Watson out the back to Jake Hardy. Jake Hardy on to Luke Gardner. Luke Gardner going towards the try line. He's been shut down 20 metres out. He nearly had the speed up there, Lukey Gardner too. Last tackle, Watson puts the bomb up. They're all in front of the kicker, so they're going to have to be careful here. As Tim Smith says, no, I'll take that. And he takes it to the ground and takes the tackle.
No contest from Singleton that day, boys. They basically let him take that hard. There was absolutely no contest from Singleton.
Yeah, well, I think they were all in front of the kicker anyway, so I think it was very lucky. It doesn't matter.
It's one thing to get to a fifth tackle, get to that kick, but it's also another thing to make sure that set is an effective set ending.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing. They just haven't had that. They're getting to their kick. There's no kick chase. There's no pressure on the fullbacks.
Yep.
Give them hell, make their job a little bit harder than what they're actually giving them.
Singleton still haven't read Adam Clydesdale either as he jumps from dummy half again here and he's made it to the 40-metre line. They're not reading him. How many times have they played?
Mate, he's a 9. You know what he's going to do. That's what he's paid to do. He's going to do it every time he gets the opportunity. A bit like Tommy Johnson.
Yep.
He'll do it every time.
As Freddie Adams goes for a bit of a lacklustre run there, and he's been stripped of the ball, but he looked like he was just jogging then, Freddie Adams, but he still made good metres, but he's been penalised for it, and that's going to hurt Singleton late in the tackle count.
Ethan Edwards looks like he's just about to come back on from the blood bin, mate. We'll see where he slots in and who he takes off.
As Freddie Adams takes the tap, he offloads it to Wicks. Wicks is on to Bradford. Has just gone steamrolling over the type of...
It's good to watch.
Young Jaden Stewart, Nick Cox, I think it was. Here's Ritter with the ball. Ritter's charging the ball. He's gone into Nick Cox. And the ball's out again. Play on. The referee's called play on. He's lost it. Loose carry. It's gone back, though. Go and have the ball. It's a push from the marker. Here we go. Number 4. Joel Harrison is tackled. He's only metres out from the try line. They're trying to wade the trips down this left-hand corridor. Jake, there we go. Oh, he's dropped it. Tom Hagan got a beautiful ball then out of dummy half from Adam Clydesdale, and he dropped it as clean as a spud.
Looked to be a bit of a set play there, boys. A little shift to the little dummy to the left, and who was it on the inside? I just can't see. Was it Rinkin on the inside, looking for a set play to go to the right end, just beside the post? They were watching the coach, not happy with the result there. That's for sure.
Look, Clydesdale could have gone himself then and scored that try. It was obviously set play, but
definitely confused all the defence. He definitely had a right to go on his own, I thought.
Yeah, my word, I would have given him the licence, and I'm sure that Aaron Watts would have given him the licence to do it as Brady Rinkin feeds a scrum and has come out the back. And it's been with young Amity, and he's tackled. He's been swung around out there by Freddie Adams and wicks around the legs. Jake Hardy, dummy half, offloads to Solomon. Solomon takes the ball forward again. I tell you what, whatever you said to him, Joshy Day, he's listening.
He's my man, there he is.
Dummy half Jake Hardy takes another quick scoot and he's taken down to the ground. Morgan Amity going into dumb and half now. You'd think he'd nearly take another settler, giving the forwards a bit of a break. Oh, he's been clipped around the head there by Rinkin, Radford, but he's not been penalised. It's let play. As Jordan Watson says, let's get this ball down the other end of the field. He's kicked it straight down the throat of Tim Smith. The Singleton defensive lines come up fast to meet them, and they're at the 35-metre mark, heading out of territory. Another kick, boys, that have picked out the fullback winger.
Mate, they have, but I would have to say on that particular shot, Scone very much compressed in. The centre was actually on the other side of the tram line, the 20-metre tram line. They're really easy to shift the ball quickly to the right-hand side. Could have made themselves a break, but hey, they're the options you take, aren't they?
There's our boy Rinkin. Clydesdale out of dummy half, picks up Ritter. How many times do we hear that? And that's a great strong tackle. That was Ethan Edwards, and he's offloaded though into JJ Apthorpe, who's taken the tackle.
Zach Solomon off for Ethan Edwards, mate.
Here goes Freddie Adams. Look, Freddie doesn't look like he's moving too fast, but I tell you what, they're standing off him a hell of a lot.
Leg drive at the moment between him and Radford are absolutely outstanding, mate. That's the go forward Scone want.
As Watts puts a kick up, that's a high one. It's going to be pressure for Hardy. He takes it on the full. He's passed it out wide to Ethan Coe. Ethan Coe, he's gone to Tim Smith and Joel Harrison. And, it's
a ragdoll.
He's been ragdolled by Tim Smith, but it was very lucky that Austin came in there because it could have gone into a terrible position.
Could have done.
They seem to be finding a way, Singleton, don't they? You know, Scone seem to have the edge, but mate, every set they seem to find that way every set.
I think it's Pete picked up on it earlier. That the ruck work that Singleton actually have come here. That one there is not a good example that we just looked at from Jakey Willis, but certainly the ruck speed Singleton have picked up on, which I think is getting them the jump, Josh.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt Brock's out there, and we always know he's good for a quick play of the ball. I think that a lot of the boys need to start following pursuit and stop worrying about the wrestle, as that kick is a better kick from Singleton. It's down in the goalpost and it's collected by Freddie Adams, and he's Topless. Oh. Sorry, Topless has split him. He's gone over the top of Ethan Edwards and another player, and he's up to the 30-metre line. Here goes Isaac Austin. They're all retreating back in defence, still the Singleton defence. They've got to slow down, just play the ball.
They're just not getting the wrestle like Scone have been doing. They've been rolling him onto their backs for a lot of the game. But these quick play the balls are going to tear him apart.
He didn't play the ball properly.
The ruck, and he's going to ping him for yep.
No, nothing off.
No, he's not happy.
Wow.
Nothing off.
Give him the cheek.
And he goes... Daniel Ritter, he's just called out Hayden Topless, but Daniel Ritter's there having a bit of a discussion with but it was dead set though, appealing for the guy laying in the ruck, but he'd moved. Look, the dummy half was entitled to get in there closer. Wow.
Go. Stop the clock.
Yeah, I don't know. The machine thingy is not working. Oh, the computer.
Well, we have to hang on. Welcome back to the Bengalla Grid 21 first grade clash for the Wetters. We're around between Singleton and Scone. We did have a power outage here. We're not sure what's going on, but they've got to stop the clock and go back and rewind it, boys. But some interesting conversations had then during the break. Pete, what's your thoughts so far on the match?
Mate, so far I've enjoyed what I've seen. The number 10 for Scone,
Radford.
His go forward has been unbelievable. he's really just been causing all sorts of damage.
The old Osgrid circuit breaker butts.
Maybe Butts, we get on to Upper Hunter Shire Council, as I said, not being political, and get them to do some upgrades here at the Scone facilities for one of the most successful clubs in the group. Yeah.
Well, there's a challenge for the likes of Burnsy and also the Mayor, Wayne Bedgood.
Wayne Bedgood, yeah, I'm calling you out.
There we go.
Let's put coin into a facility here and let's see if it's up.
They do need. They're one of the best clubs in the competition. They have been for so long. Yeah, the field needs new drainage, but they need to focus on their lights, and they've got the amenities for the players over there. But let's get some. The girls in the canteen, like they said,
infrastructure.
They've been using this same canteen since Noah came over on the Narc, so. We're just waiting for the lights to get a bit
15-20, we've got the penalty and we'll restart now with Watson. He'll take the kick for goal on the western side
kick
of the field.
Kick for goal even?
Kick for touch, sorry.
Jeez, Mike Kenny.
Well, hang on.
The lights are kicking in back up too.
As here we see, what young Argent takes a tap, he turns back under. Rinkin, I think it is from here. I'm just going to have a look at the screen now. As number 6, Rinkin goes in dummy half. He passes it out wide to Dale Watson, who offloads it. Tackled very strongly by Daniel Ritter. The lights are still coming, getting brighter here. As Rinkin's now in dummy half, he goes out, comes across the field. He's going along the left side. Watson with the ball, passes it on to. What have we got going on here?
Unsure. We've gone back to 16 minutes. The sirens are going off. We've tackled. Watson's about 2 minutes inside. That's. I can't see. Reggie, help me out.
Yeah, no, that's a great run there. I think it is. Well, Rinkin's in dummy half. It might be. No, I can't get it either on the screen. As here we go, left-hand side play. Oh, Morgan Emmett caught a great ball there, but he's going to get dragged into touch. Is he? No, he just stays in the field of play. He gets up, plays the ball. They're only metres out. Long ball back to the dummy. Here we go. We've got a penalty. All offside, or is it incorrect play the ball? He's going against the feed.
Against the feed, been held back. I think held back.
Interfering with the markers.
Yeah.
Well, is it just me, or do you think they should have waited a couple of minutes for these lights to brighten up before they kicked off again?
Mate, I'm only just been able to see the backside of that field there, Josh, and I'll tell you, it's tough for the players out there, that's for sure.
I think
Here we go. That's good there, young Benny, as they take the ball forward. Bang, straight up, hard run, and penalty again. What's this one for? Head-on tackle.
Back and
here we go.
Bang, bang, bang.
Is he going to call time out? No, he's going to be a good ref and just keep it playing. Singleton is still retreating, and it's all momentum at the moment with Scone.
That's a 60-metre loss in the space of 3 seconds there, Josh. It's going to be tough for him to come back to.
Freddie Evans takes the ball forward. He's been tackled by Ethan Edwards and young Matt Brock. As Ritter offloads to, he brought a fresh face on the field there for Jakey Collison, I think it might be. As Clydesdale dummy half, he jumps and goes to the broad side again. He picks up Ritter's through the gap. He's done it under his ball, but it's gone to ground. And it's picked up by Isaac Austin, and Isaac Austin settles the tackle right in the centre of the field. In dummy halves, Clydesdale, he's looking both ways. We know what he's going to do. He's going to jump and he's going to give it to Watson. Here we go, out to Joey Harrison. Joey Harrison with the speed. He's got the upper body strength. Can he make it over the line? And he's made it. Joel Harrison.
Yep.
Great upper body strength, and he won the wrestle there. I think it was about 3 or 4 Singleton defenders there. Jake Hardy was there. That was just pure class from Joel Harrison.
But I think we spoke about it early, Joel, on the right side, or Singleton's right side, the lack of defence on that spot. They've been found out a couple of times and been left wanting there again. Not a whole lot of push from the inside. I mean, the inside boys haven't moved out to help them. Don't take it away from Joe Harrison. Great run, good drive run. Still had Tim Smith on the outside, so he could have won himself or take the ball. Great try from Scone, absolutely.
It was Joshy Day or Pete Holland.
Yep.
They wouldn't have made it.
No, absolutely.
That was all Joel Harrison.
But yeah, showed good strength to get through a couple of, well, I won't say lazy defenders, but they just didn't match it, did they?
No push on the footy from the inside, Pete, and that's what you need when you're coming into that corner. That inside push is what you've got to have to then crowd, push them towards the sideline. The sideline's your friend in that space, and Singleton really didn't use it in that space. They allowed Joel Harrison to get off the left foot, get in underneath Jaden Stewart, and wouldn't say a soft try, but definitely a good individual try by Harrison.
Now, I'm not trying to coach, but against this Aberdeen side, teams need to learn. Against this Aberdeen like teams like Aberdeen need to learn about against Scone. One marker steps out a foot to the left, one steps out a foot to the right, and then you watch Adam Clydesdale jump, and then you've got to follow the play, because that's where they're carving him up.
Hold and release.
They're watching him. They were back-footing then in defence.
Oh, he shanked that off to the left there. Watch, he's missed that by a good 2 or 3 from where we're sitting. 8-6 in favour of Scone with 11:15 to go.
A big shout out to everyone listening to us at home. We've just had the blackout. We're back under control. There's 11 minutes left in this first half. The Bengalla, where there's a wheel round. All these jerseys will be auctioned too. So if you can't be here at the game, be sure to get online, get in contact with someone from one of the clubs, and get behind these jerseys. They're beautiful. I like the Singleton ones.
Oh, they look fantastic, don't they?
Yeah, as Jake Hardy kicks off, it's gone real deep and high. It's taken there by Wicks, and it's given to a fast-running Radford. Mate, I'll tell you what, if he's not going to
drive tonight has been phenomenal. It's been fantastic.
If he's not going to be here for the semi-finals, that is a big loss.
Massive, absolutely massive.
Who feels the void, matey, Kenny?
Mate, I'm just at a bit of a loss. So JJ's doing his best out there to run on the other edge. I mean, but Radford's playing in the front row. Can you step JJ up to front row to fill that ball?
You
I
could
don't
put
know.
JJ anywhere.
You probably could too, mate. Yeah, fair call.
As here we go. What's on the Radford again? Radford's tackled. He's just at the 40-metre line. Jumps from dummy half. It's Clydesdale. They're not read it again. They've waited. They're waiting back. These are 2 terrible balls from Scone that have gone not to him but to ground, and they've lost ground. And it's a great pick-up and drive. That's young Emity. Great tackle there by Emity. Watson over the top. Freddie Adams from dummy half. He passes it out. They've gone to... Oh, massive tackle as he kicked the ball. Jake, what's... Oh, he's...
Oh, no.
Made a middle.
Jake
Look
Hardy.
here. Double knock on.
There's no urgency. Like Jake Hardy there, done what I've requested of all fullbacks. He's taken that ball at full speed.
But he's attacked the footy.
Yeah.
Which is better than we've seen in a few of the first-grade games lately, Reggie, where we actually stopped and let it bounce. And that's just like, as far as I'm concerned, that's like the golden rule. You don't let the footy touch the ground, yeah?
Well, I'm not going to bag him out because he made the effort. That's
what I'm saying. He's charged the footy. He's made the effort to actually get there.
Yeah.
Josh.
Well, it's just me. Just completely different Singleton team just before the blackout. You know, the wind's really gone out of their sails. That momentum's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, they've lost that wrestler getting in the ruck. You know, that break coming at a really bad time for Singleton.
As Wicks broke from the scrum and picked up Haddon on the... What's going on here? There was definitely held, and then he's tried a double attempt to pull him over the sideline there. I'm not too sure. And they've gone the blind side, a quick play, and Wicks is still in the field of play. How did they let him get down that corridor? There would have been millimetres. Freddie Adams in dummy half. What's the score in the screaming for the ball? He gives it on to JJ Apthorpe. JJ Apthorpe's shrugged off one, he shrugged off two, he's carrying 3. And now they're finally taken into the ground, just short of the try line. Scone, if they don't go in here, I know nothing. As Clydesdale goes from dummy half, he's trying to get there. He's not there, he's just shy. He'll play the ball back to Wicks. Wicks passes it out the back to Watts. Watts steps off his left. They're not going anywhere. They should be going in for a try here. As Clydesdale goes to dummy half, he jumps, goes himself. He picks up a flat running. Is that Radford or Collison? Collison, I think it is. And that is the last tackle handover.
Great online defence.
Oh, brilliant defence.
Good screamer from Single in that space, but it's a different edge. Look, it's over on the far edge there, Josh. We spoke about this edge. The far edge, Lukey Gardner in the middle. That's certainly... I don't think that's where Scone should be running.
Biggest set of the game now for Singleton. They really need a good kick here and a massive chase. You've got to play from the upper end. Otherwise, Scone do not want to be down this end.
As Jake Hardy played the ball, I'm just trying to watch there. They're actually giving... there's a bit of a niggle out there, but Scone definitely winning the ruck, that wrestle that we're talking about. And they're all...
Yeah, that's the relief Singleton needed.
So they've just piggybacked, and Daniel Ritter's having a bit of a say there to Jesse Rudder. I should have went out and spoke to him at half-time and told him his microphone's not working. Half-time, blackout time.
Blackout time, well, it wouldn't have been working anyway. It was a blackout, Reg. I'm not sure what part of that you're not understanding.
Mate, it's battery operated. It's battery operated, Matt.
That there's a 40-metre on-the-fly kick. Ethan Carroll passed into Jaden Stewart. Jakey Willis up to the 35 metres out from Scone touch.
He's got a big heart. He has.
Topless and Smith, is it?
Look at this. That should be a penalty. Any day, any NRL match, that's a penalty. But here we go. And that's Dale Watson takes the ball forward. He's met there by Collison. Dummy half is Rinkin. Rinkin finds a number 14, Matty Brock. He's now 20 metres out from the try line.
Scone hanging off him at the moment, boys. Their speed off the line is not what it was 20 minutes or 15 minutes ago.
Yep,
that's Luke Gardner gets the ball. He's surging towards the right. He's taken Radford for a ride, and Ritter helps take him down. Rinkin at dummy half. They're going to the blind stand again. Here we go. Jake Hardy. He's tried to chip and he's found Wicks.
Yeah.
Straight on his
Little
chest.
kick, isn't it?
Well, Josh touched on it's the 1%, it's the 2%, it's the end of the ruck players. They've got to be effective, Josh.
Well, no offence to Jake Hardy, but the past couple of weekends, if I'm Jai Bailey, I'm taking away his kicking licence. As he goes, Tim Smith from dummy half for a scoot. That's great leg speed. Look at that. And Rinkin takes him down with a bit of help from Gardner. Dummy half topless. He'd certainly most likely scoot himself. There he goes. He's giving the forwards a bit of... But look at the Singleton defence. They're standing back. They're not moving off that line.
Same thing, mate.
Freddie Adams.
Line speed there. Singleton just moved 2 metres off there. We're right in line with it. They moved 2 metres off the line.
That's what it is. It's the line speed. They're not doing it. And
Well,
it
they're
goes
only just
close up.
getting back there, 10, as the ball's being played. So they're still on the back foot.
Yeah, 6s and 7s, Pete. And
There we
let the ball
go.
bounce. There we go.
We let the ball bounce.
Let's go
off
back
the
under 12s.
I think he's lost his confidence a lot.
Well, maybe so, Josh, and that's maybe something we need to run out to him. He's done the right thing in attacking the football. We'll change it over with Morgan Amity to play it back to Jake Hardy. Ethan Coe in dummy half at the moment after Jaden Stewart run. He'll scoot left a little dart and dive and run. He's to the middle of the field. He's round Ritter. He's found a big wall in the space of JJ Apthorpe.
He's very lucky he got around Ritter because
Absolutely.
he went backwards.
Absolutely, he was. Morgan Amity will take a little scoot to the left here. He'll make another 10 easy metres. Good ruck speed at the end. Morgan will get up and play it back to Brody Rinkin. Brody Rinkin will feed it left to... one of them.
Yeah, no, that's number 14, Matty Brock. Matty Brock's playing the ball. Back to Brody Rinkin. Off to Watson on to Ethan Edwards. There's 3 people in that tackle, notably Collison. Around the legs was Wicks. He's very good at that. Here we go. Play the ball back for the last. Watson
Calling out for a
puts
nice
a
kick
bomb
to the
up.
right.
That's a great kick. That's straight down the throat, though. Get on.
Okay, was it Ethan? No.
So I couldn't see who that was.
We've got a double knock
Ethan
on.
Coe's come through hard after Timmy Smith has made a meal of it. He hasn't been able to control it either.
Was it Timmy Smith?
Timmy Smith was the one underneath it, mate, and Ethan Coe has tried to clean it up, just missed it. We'll have a scrum 10 metres out, 20 metres in off the Scone line.
Well, see what happens when we finally get a good kick with a good chase.
Absolutely.
You know, what actually happens.
Bit of pressure there, mate.
Yep. Exactly
Right. Uncontested ball there earlier, Joshy, which led the Scone basically just making 20 or 30 metres straight back. Time off at the moment. We've got a injured player out being treated by Scone.
I can't see Tim Smith in the play, in the frame.
Tim's back out. No, Timmy's over on the wing.
Not sure who it is.
Tim
Can't see a
Singer.
number there at the
I can't
moment.
see a number. I'm trying to get
Joel Harrison,
see
please.
the camera.
Joel Harrison.
John Harrison.
Yep.
Just zoom out a bit there, Benny. That'd be great. Thanks, mate.
Giving him some coaching.
Yeah.
Well,
He's only learning, young Benny. He's doing a great job
He's
with the
doing a
video.
fantastic job too. If I was, what is he, 14-year-old?
14-year-old. All our team's 14, so...
Being able to operate the gear like that, mate, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, after age, sort of, plus a 10 years. As here we go from the scrum.
Watch him
Singleton.
peel it wide.
Watson's got the ball. He passes on to Ethan Edwards. Ethan Edwards takes it straight into what looks like Daniel Ritter, or is it Freddie Adams? Sorry, boys. It's Freddie Adams. He goes weak of dummy half. He picks up Matty Brock. He's hard. He's a nugget. He's close to the ground. He's got that leg drive. Great tackle there. He's fighting to get to a quick play of the ball, but Clydesdale does not allow him. Here's Cox with the ball. Cox does a little jink. He stood up. Isaac Austin, but Isaac Austin, is that number 9? Come on.
Sorry.
Rinkin's in dummy half. Right now, Rinkin goes for a charge. He's not going to make it through that defence. You need to spend it. Spend it out wide. Here we go, boys. There goes out wide. It goes on to number 10, Nick Rinkin. He got for the try line, and he's nearly over it. Brody Rinkin, last tackle. Passes out wide to Jake Hardy. Jake Hardy kicks it.
It's a nice little kick.
It's picks that up well. Topless has it, and he's not going to make it out of his own and go, oh, there you go, Jake Hardy. You can keep your licence for that
I was
one.
going to say, Richard, what about the licence, mate?
But then, if you were going to kick there, Josh, kick, easy for me to say.
Oh, well.
If you're going to kick there, wouldn't you have your line up, ready to run?
Yeah.
He's kicked and it's been a great kick,
Yep.
but the chase is too far behind.
Yeah.
If you're going to communicate that, you'd have him right up and beside you,
Yep.
little chip through, bang, you have the pressure on.
Yep.
He hasn't done that.
As here comes the drop out from Scone. They've kicked it. It's hit the 40-metre line. They've let it roll. Cox with the ball. Picks up Dale Watson. Watson's going flat out. No, Rinkin, is it? Sorry, Rinkin. Watson? Rinkin? Watson. It was Watson.
Watson.
Brody Rinkin, dummy half. picks up number 14, Matty Brock. I think I want to see Matty Brock over this side of the field. I know he's a good left-hand player, but I think over here is where we need him.
This right side.
As here goes Rinkin. Rinkin with the ball. He surges to the 20-metre line directly in front of the uprights. Rinkin in dummy half. Brady, that is. Off to Watson. Watson runs across field. He's dummied. He's going himself. He's short. He's been cut down around the legs. Got a penalty. What's this penalty for?
He's taken out then. What's he signalling there, mate?
I'm trying to have a look. He's taken someone out.
He's
Yeah,
grabbing
that's what I thought. It did look like that, Pete. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. That's
Minute
good.
40
Where's
to go, boys. Would
now?
you go for the 2?
Minute 40 to go. Look,
Yeah, I would be, but
Yeah,
they're not. They're going
put
for
the
the
pressure on and going with a draw.
taking the tap, and here we go, right centre field. Like they said, 1 minute 20 remaining on the clock. Matty Brock plays the ball back to Brody Rinkin. Brody Rinkin out the back to Cox. Cox bricks Willis underneath. Willis is going towards the exact same place. They've lost ground. Are they setting for something here? Rinkin receives the ball at dummy half. Out to Cox again. They puts a grubber in on the third tackle. I don't know whether that was on, and surely Jai Bailey's going to blow steam over that.
I can see a few hands on heads over there at the moment, and I don't know. Oh, and there you go.
Now they're
Penalty.
giving the penalty away.
Wow.
And you
Big
usually,
let off from Scone with a minute to go.
yeah, the clock's counting down. Scone's kicked it out. It's come down towards the reserve bench here. It's going to be a tap on the 30-metre line. What has Scone got to finish off this half? Joel Harrison. He's got the ball. He's going to tap it. He's going to take it himself. Of course he will. He's a big boy. He could be in the second row. Then maybe there's an option. Move JJ up, put him into the second row, and
Could do.
as Smith passes it out to Watts. Watts gets fast running Mick Radford. Jeez, he's been good. Plays the ball back. Dummy half Adam Clydesdale on the Wicks. Wicks out the back to Topless. Topless has made speed. He's gone down there. And no look pass over the top
Great
to
ball.
Freddie Adams. And then off the loads to Ronan Haddon, who goes in the corner. That is
That's a great
brilliant.
try.
That is going to look really good on
Topless-
replay.
Topless moving through there. It's a fantastic try. He's gapped them there, Josh. He's a nice ball out. And he was in the corner. Freddie.
Look, you could put it down to
Freddie.
Bradford's run prior to that, and getting up, getting a quick play of the ball. Again, his leg speed. He's been awesome this first half.
Yeah, we just spoke before about putting that polish on the end of those sets, but just before, kicking early, you had that line, and even making the decision to make the 2 as well. It's really come back to hurt Singleton.
It certainly has, like giving that silly penalty away, and now like instead of being 2 behind, we're now at least 6 behind going into half time.
Well, why would you kick it on the third tackle, Pete?
It was crazy.
Gosh,
Tell me a brain explosion.
Unsure.
I don't know why that is, but they've paid for it right before half time. I know we'll be talking to, well, there's Daffy Reynolds in what it's a Singleton looking jacket. Well, that'll do me.
he hasn't gone that far backward. But Josh, you called it over there, mate. Do you take the 2? You go in there, you run the clock down. It was a minute 30, I think, to go. Run the clock down, you take the 2, you go in there on 8 all. Right now, so you're going there at 12-6, potentially 14-6.
When points are on offer that late in the half against the great side like Scone, you take the points.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if you can go to the break and it's all level, happy days. But,
Or Happy
come
Gilmore?
back to bite 'em.
Yeah, it adds a different dimension, and certainly the coaches. I see Aaron Watts is not happy with a few stanzas of his plays.
He's kicked that.
He has 14-6. They'll go to the break with Scone.
Right out on the sideline. He missed one from almost in front earlier, but from on the sideline, great kick.
Well, Matt Kenny and Pete Holland, I'll let you two take it away and break down what was that half. I'll take a bit of a breather and chat to these young guys on the equipment. And
Will you now?
yes, and
you're right.
Josh
Just
is
leave us
going to go
in.
wandering and find the coaches for us. So
Yeah, I think they're both coming back there. Watchy has indicated he'll come back after half time and have a bit of a chat to us. But let's when Reggie finishes playing with his microphone. You right there, mate?
Plenty of air noise, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's all right, Reg. Just want to turn that microphone off, mate, or not? Josh is going out to try and find a couple of people on the run there, but Pete, you called it earlier. The ruck speed of Singleton has it improved, but like I said there earlier, you get that break with the lighting issue. You asked me, is it a good thing or a bad thing? For me, if I was coaching the side, bad thing. You get the people that are on a roll.
Sorry, boys, just here with Rinkin.
Sorry, buddy.
Front row, mate. Buddy, you boys seem to have them there at the end. Do you reckon we should have went for the 2 or happy to play on?
Yeah, looking at it now, I think we probably should have took the 2. We did have the momentum though. I thought probably have a shot at him, but 3 tackles in, we probably should have sort of went for the try. But nah, all in all, sort of little effort areas. We just got to keep working around that middle.
What's your goal for the second half, mate?
Yeah, just slow the big boys down. You see Radford, Ritter, sort of hard to bring down. We just get numbers in tackles and just slow the boys down.
Best luck, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Joshy, out there in the middle, mate. Yeah, well done.
100% in what he was saying there, that they've got to get those 1%ers right. And it is in the ruck where they're just, Scone are just getting too quick a player ball. And they're struggling in defence.
Ruck speed is going to be paramount in this second half. And I just said to Pete while you're off there, Joshy, finding Mick Ricken, the break in the middle. I think that has definitely changed the dynamic of the game. We had Scone bang bang, Singleton bang bang forward back on either end of the field. The gap in the middle has seemed to have just changed the dynamics of the game. I think Singleton's gone backwards. Scone have gained that extra leg, and they're starting to push forward, mate.
One thing about Singleton as well, they don't seem to be showing much respect for Scone. Every point is vital, and taking two where they can, really completing their sets, really working those fundamentals, things like communication, they work around the ruck. They're really lacking that. To still be only 8 points behind, I think they're in a pretty good position, and they're easy things that they can be fixed in the second half. So, I think they need to show Scone a lot more respect, and I think when they do, I think it's going to change the way they play.
You see the discipline, boys, the discipline second half. Bang, 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 3 penalties, Scone. Piggyback from, I'm going to say, roughly the 10-yard line through to Singleton's, I'm going to say 20 to 30-yard line of 3 piggyback penalties. The same thing happened against Singleton from Scone. Bang, bang, bang. There was 2 penalties straight up. A huge kick here from Watson, which gained, I'm going to say, be close on 60 metres. Mate, it puts them on the 40-yard line very, very quickly. Discipline towards the end of the first half there, boys, seem to just go out the window. We're sort of going back to that sort of, I'm not going to say schoolyard football, but certainly uncontrolled, unstructured, unthought of type football. What do you think, boys?
Yeah, the game plan seemed to get thrown out the window there in the end of the half. But look, Singleton started off slow. They warmed into the game. You're right, Matt. They were on a roll when the break happened with the failure in the power, and they did struggle on the way back. They were starting to warm into it. A couple of good kicks there from Singleton late in the half, where they put some good pressure on Scone. Hopefully they can keep that kicking game going and keep that pressure up.
Let's talk halves, boys. We've got Jordan Watson, we've got Brody Rinkin playing against Adam Clydesdale or Jared Wicks. We're not sure who's on the 9 or the 6 there, and Jake Watts. Who's winning the battle there, boys?
Oh, mate, I think it comes down to communication. It's the only thing it's the only area where Singleton are lacking. They pick up that communication and start letting their outside backs know a little bit more ahead of time what's going to happen, where the kick's going to be at, etc. And I think they're going to get the ascendancy. But at the moment, Scone just look so much more organised. They're completing those sets. They're just putting a little bit of polish on the back end of those sets as well. And that's the thing that Singleton isn't, which is really hurting.
I totally agree. Jordan Watson and Brody Rinkin, both very, very dynamic players, can make the decisions. But I just don't think they're playing in the field of Jake Watts and Adam Clydesdale / Jared Wicks. They're definitely, I think the Scone halves have got more structure, they've got more presence, and they've certainly got more organisation. I think Singleton in 6s and 7s on occasions there, as they want to push forward, it's almost like when we get to the play, then we look for shape, then we look for someone, as opposed to the Scone side seem to be set 1 or 2 or 3 plays for, virtually playing towards position. So they'll play towards the left side, hit the 10-yard line, then they'll play back towards the centre, which is, a pretty basic sort of structure, Josh. I mean, 6s and 7s played, 8s and 10s played. It's a very well-known regimented play, but they seem to be executing it well. And off the back of the quick play the ball, boys, they seem to be going forward a little quicker. Adam Clydesdale jumping out of dummy half, Josh.
You've got to really start learning to control that ruck, I think, Singleton in the second half, sorry. Markers need to start working a lot more harder. They really, really do. Otherwise, Clydesdale's going to keep having a field day.
Absolutely.
Look, that's working on that effective set endings. Get a little bit more polish on the back end of those kicks. Singleton are still well and truly in this, I think.
Oh, they certainly can be. And, just the little things that they've got to pick up. And I think they probably can.
Yeah.
The halves for Scone at the moment have been over them, especially when they've been down in the 20, inside of that 20 metre. They are more organised.
The fullback dominance, mate. We've got Jake Hardy versus Hayden Topless. I think Topless got him on a couple of occasions. I mean, look,
points to Topless in the first half.
Look, give Jake Hardy full credit. He's the only fullback we've seen attack the football this season to actually try and get the damn thing on the full. Okay, hasn't come off so well. Might have dented the confidence there a little bit, as opposed to Hayden Topless. He's taken every ball on the full, gapped them out wide very, very quickly, and certainly got the try. Just grab a set of headphones there so Watchy can hear us what we're saying there, mate. Make sure they're turned on.
Look, the ball that he attacked and dropped, it dropped right on him. I mean, it was a great kick.
Yeah, for sure.
And it dropped late. he was coming in attacking the ball, and you can't knock him for that.
Josh, you've got Watchy there, mate?
Yeah, boys, just here with Scone coach, sorry, Aaron Watts, mate. What's your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, mate. It looks fairly even. Singleton really punched us through the middle, and we were on the back foot. So, mate, yeah, pretty even at the moment.
Mate, you think the break-in play with the blackout had any change in the way the game was played?
Mate, no. I'd probably just give everyone a bit of a rest, I suppose. Save the interchanges.
Mate, Ritter and Radford been fantastic for you, mate. They go forward, leg speed, drive, been absolutely brilliant for you so far, Aaron.
Yeah, they have, mate, and that's what we just spoke about. Once we sort of go through the line, we don't want to be going wide. We've got to sort of punch again and go again. So, yeah, mate, they've been like that, and we just need to keep pushing around the footy and not overplay our hand.
Mate, line speed towards the end of the first half, Singleton and Scone, but Scone more specifically, seemed to drop off that line speed, mate. Weren't getting up as quickly as you were in that first half. Did it play in towards the end of the half, do you think?
Yeah, mate, we were ordinary. Line speed was bad, and I don't know. I guess, we can't keep looking for excuses. We can't wait for someone else to keep doing it, We can't look for the big play. And that, like, as you saw at the end, we score a try like that and everything thinks it's rosy, mate. It's not. Our line speed, it's got to be better, and hopefully we can fix it up in the second half.
Mate, you've made some good inroads on the right-hand side of the Singleton defence. Good area to keep going in the second half.
Oh, for sure, mate. Like, it's got some fast players out there and some powerful players, So, look, don't get me wrong, Singleton's left's given us a bit of trouble as well, So, we need to be on our game there.
What's the message to the team from the coach going out, mate?
Oh, mate, we just, as you guys mentioned, you probably should have come in the sheds. Our line speed's not good enough. Let's make sure we follow up on our big guys making inroads, and let's keep playing footy after the end of that.
Clydesdale's been very dynamic for you in around that ruck, mate. Getting him to run forward, big fellas, JJ Apthorpe off his hip. Some sort of strategy for you?
Mate, no strategy. The second half is going to work. So
okay, we'll play that one out of the water today. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate. So thanks, Watchy. He'll take back over the coach and reins there and throw a few water bottles at Butts' head or Butts' butt. But 40 minutes left on the clock there, boys. It's 14-6, waiting for the Singleton side to come back out. The referee, the officials are back on.
It's on.
Yeah, thanks. No,
I'm on.
No,
you're on. We can hear you.
No, we can hear you. Well done. Jesse's on, apparently.
Jesse's on. We've got him for sound. What we do need is...
we need Singleton to come back out of the sheds.
He's gone to the bloody care need. I needed the young fella to go and get some batteries. We've gone through a lot of battery in this game already, just without using them.
Well, that was to get the lights working again.
Yeah, they took out AA batteries, you reckon?
Fed the AAAs and the lights, and we're back on. But Singleton seem to have been lost. Jesse Ruddles are waiting to officiate. Good talk. What are your thoughts from Aaron Watts there, Josh?
Mate, do you know what? For the way the game's been played out, I still know there's a lot of room for improvement. For himself, I think it's just that go forward. Really just trying to work at their positives, really work on those little fundamentals that they've just been working on. And I think they know that Singleton are here for a game, and they've shown them respect, which Singleton aren't showing Scone.
No, I totally agree there. The respect there and then respecting the game for sure. Aaron didn't seem to think that the break in play changed the game. I'd beg to differ on that that subject, because I think Singleton did have a bit of a role, and I did think the dynamic changed shortly thereafter. It's taken a little bit of time for Singleton to get their mojo back on, Pete.
It has. It's just like the start of the game again, wasn't it? Like, it took them about 10 minutes or so to get into the game, and then the break there with the power failure, it did take him another 5 or so minutes to really get a roll on. But they've now come back out onto the field, the Greyhounds.
Yeah, they're walking past us. It's not us, Zach.
We'll just see young Josh is going to see if he can grab hold of Jai Bailey as he comes back out to address it. Oh, wow.
And there goes the kickoff. I wanted to put that into you.
Yeah,
but here we
thanks very much for
go.
that.
Straight down the throat of Topless. Topless offloads it to Jakey Collison. Collison takes the ball flat out hard, straight into the defence. I can still hear him coming through, even though I've got him turned down. Give it a rest, young Jesse Rudder. Here we go as they've run the ball. Scone now on the 30-metre line. They're tackled there strongly by Rinkin over the top.
Sorry, boys, just quickly, just with Singleton coach Jai Bailey. Jai, what's in the first half, mate?
Yeah, we went all right, mate. I think we've done some good things, done some bad things. Our fifth tackle options need to be fixed up. Gave away too many penalties, but other than that, we're in the grind. So we just gave away another penalty then. So they obviously didn't listen at half time there. But yeah, we're going on.
And the blackout rate, do you think that changed the way the game was played?
Oh, look, I think we're on a roll, to be honest. We were down on the line and they were looking, a bit rattled there. But at the end of the day, that's what happened, so we can't worry about it.
It's Footy. Good luck in the second half, mate. Thank you.
He's exactly right there. That's what we said. They were on a bit of momentum there. They did give away a penalty, and Daniel Ritter's just lost the ball. He's pleading for a strip ball, but I'm not too sure what's happened there. Who's got the ball?
Unsure.
Daniel Ritter's still got the ball. There we go. He lost it and then regained it. As they turn back under Wicks. Wicks into the ruck. He spins out of one tackle from Edwards, and he's brought down there in a great tackle by Dale Watson over the top. Watson plays it back to number 16, who's John Johnson's on the field now for the Scone Thoroughbreds. That's going to be another great player out there. Maybe he can play front row.
Well, he's moved into the 9 position, John O. Johnson, which is obviously his specialty. But let's just see who's come off. So Adam Clydesdale must have pushed a half, and maybe Jared's on the bench. I'm unsure.
John Johnson from half to one. There you go.
There you go.
Specialist from
straight over. John O. Johnson, 10 metres to the eastern side of the pet, to the post. Scoot out from dummy half. That'll put 18-6. Quick try after half time, Josh. That's really going to hurt the Singleton defence pride there, mate.
Yeah, they really come out flat-footed there, Singleton. I think for them, just go back to those basics. This next set of 6 or this next 5 minutes is going to be critical to Singleton's results tonight.
John O. Johnson, deadly from dummy half, mate. You've just got to watch him. He'll jump and run. He can kick. He can tackle. He does everything from there. He's about 1,000 years old, but it doesn't matter, mate. The strength that comes out of him and lift the side like this, and the dynamics are shown straight up, Reggie.
But, mate, they've got 3 specialist hookers. They've got John Johnson, Jared Wicks and Adam Clydesdale.
Yeah. Where'd he go? So I just haven't seen there in the structure, boys. Where has Clydesdale moved? I can't see who's on the bench there. I can't see Jared Wicks or
someone might have had to go to work. We don't know. It does impact.
Yeah, but Pete hit the nail on the head before. Marcus has got to start working. They've got to start communicating. Otherwise, your hookers are going to start.
Again, they started the half a little bit slow. They gave away that penalty, and they've paid the ultimate price for it.
Take it away for a minute for me, Matt.
Converted the goal there, making it 20-6 for Scone.
Sorry, boys, just while we wait for the kick-off, I just heard from Kurt Barnes from Musselbrook that Mick Henry, captain coach of reserve grade from Musselbrook, has a broken collarbone and a broken shoulder blade.
Oh, wow. That's a big hit.
It was a massive tackle happened right in front of me.
Yeah.
And, he was not in a good way.
Yeah, so he's currently at Scone Hospital right now.
Jake Hardy puts it high. Jared Wicks will take it on the... Oh, great run there from Topless. No, it's not. Where's your sheet, Jared?
You have the sheets while I fix this up.
Sweet. Can't see it. Wicks again. Wicks has moved to dummy half off to Ritter. Ritter will push it wide to... Oh, I can't see.
Okay, I'll take over again. Here we go, Scone.
Again, the line speed is just down for Singleton.
Dummy half is what's by the looks of it. Off to Isaac Austin, and he's made it to the halfway line. He's playing it 20 metres out. John Johnson, dummy half off to Ritter. Ritter's going to run it straight to the line. You nearly see a tip on, but he can't get the offload. He's tackled really well. He did get it away. And there we go, Isaac Austin with the ball again. He's crept forward about another 5 metres. Austin plays the ball. John Johnson, dummy half. Offloads to Jared Wicks. Out to JJ Upthorpe. He puts a little bit of a jig on, but Luke Gardner is up to the challenge and takes him around the legs with Ethan Edwards over the top. Number 16, John Johnson, chips over the top. That's a good little kick for a final play there. Great completion to the seat. Makes it just in the field of play. They'll bring it in for a scrum, 10 metres out.
Yeah, like I spoke about the half-time break, boys, these halves from Scone, they've just got that polish, don't they, on those kicks, They're really finding those effective set endings. But the backs, the outside backs, your forwards, they're backing it up. They're really good kick chase as well.
Plenty of push on the footy there too, Josh. So there was plenty of pressure on there for the wingers. I think it was Morgan Amity on this side. He did clean it up well, and the ball went out. There's no risk there.
Yep.
That puts Scone in a very good defending position.
Yep,
it's a very tough corner to get out of that corner there.
As here we go, Singleton with the scrum feed. I can't see who that is feeding the scrum. It was Jordan Watson. He's passed the ball. It's gone out to... I was going to say Gary Gardner, Luke Gardner. Luke Gardner's played the ball. No, it's not. He's playing James Stewart. As it's young Morgan Amity taking a scoop from dummy half. Who we got in dummy half now? We've got Nick Cox. Nick Cox is talking. It's a bit of that's a penalty.
Yeah, every day of the week. But like I said there, boys, there's three rucks and they've only just gained field position and they're only 20 yards out from the line. It's a tough corner to come out of. Good position from Scone, but really, really silly penalty to give that advantage away.
Singleton, Jordan Watson kicks it. It's gone.
Oh, it hasn't found it.
Coach killer.
And it's picked up there by...
That'd be Tim Smith.
No, it isn't. It's number 4, Joel Harrison, who's brushed off 3-4 plays. He's offloaded Tim Smith. Tim Smith will go into the corner and he'll better the position. He's bringing it around towards the goalpost, just shy of the goalpost. Puts it down. Great. That all comes back to not finding touch.
It certainly did. Perfect. Went straight down his throat.
That's Jordan Watson. He's just put his hand up too and said that's my bad boys.
Absolutely is. Yep.
So he didn't find touch, but Joel Harrison, as I said, he is a strong unit, but they were some half-hearted tackles there, weren't he?
The polish on the kicks, you touched on it earlier there, Josh. The polish on the kicks from the halves, that's a coach killer. That's kicking Singleton out of trouble. They've got the undisciplined play from Scone. They've got the penalty. It's an easy one. It was going for a 30-metre kick there, Josh. It's kicking Singleton out of trouble. What it's done, basically on the back foot, mate, it's turned it into a 12-6 game to 24-6 now. Close to going to be 26-6. 33 minutes to go, boys.
And we go back to that penalty goal just before half-time as well. Coming out of the sheds, it could be an 8-all. We're about to look at about 26-6. 7 minutes, into the second half.
Yeah,
and again, Singleton have come out, started slow.
Yeah.
Their
You're right, Pete.
Their line in defence is very jagged. There's one or two that are coming up quickly. Everyone else is just meandering up behind them.
Yep.
And the inroads are being found by Scone at the moment.
just had a text message through, boys. You just need to talk into the top of those ones, like straight into it, like you're drinking a schooner.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can do.
Oh, no problem drinking a schooner.
So let's call it, boys, a 10-minute game. 10 minutes of football has turned it from potentially an 8-all game to a 26-6 game. That's the fact of it, yeah?
Yes, and that's why I said it comes back. I would have taken that kick for goal.
No, Josh called it, mate. It's spot on.
Here we go as JJ Athorpe gets the ball. He goes back towards the centre of the field. He's hit very strongly there. Singleton now lifted in tempo. They needed that 20 minutes ago. Wicks into dummy half. He finds, I cannot see who that is for me life right now, but it was a great run from a Scone player there.
It's hard under these lights, isn't it?
It is. It's Jacob... No, Ronan Haddon it was, sorry. So now we have, here he is, Big Mick Rinkin. He's palmed off...
Mick Rinkin?
Radford, sorry. Radford's palmed off Luke Gardner, but lost the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
It was another good run, though, up until that last moment where he's put it down.
These lights are absolutely shocking to see the numbers of the jerseys. Lucky we've got this little screen here to
You got
see.
the eyes and ears, Reg.
Bengo's going to be so jealous of this little screen. He's going to love it. He's just going to sit here watching that. As here we go. It's
From the pack on the, what's that, the halfway line, right
Yes.
on the halfway line.
As they from Lock pick it up and give it on to Ethan Edwards. He's taken it to the halfway line but just centred it. He's tackled. They're really working the rock there, Freddie Adams. Not Cox from dummy half.
That's Rinkin, isn't it? Simon, sorry. Zach Simon.
Yeah.
Well, not now.
Not sure
Sorry.
I'm not sure who he came on for. Roll around the ground. Coxie will get it. Coxie to Rinkin. Rinkin off to Dale Watson. Dale Watson gets wrapped up very, very quickly by
Isaac Austin. He stripped it one-on-one.
He stripped him.
It's a one-on-one strip. Poor carry there. Poor carry from Dale Watson.
Yeah.
So they'll play it.
38 metres out from their own try line. He's Jakey Collison. He's taken the ball flat out hard, met by 3 defenders from Singleton. But you'll see here, Singleton don't move fast off their line. They might.
You watch, there'll be one or two that'll shoot up.
That's not bad.
That wasn't too bad then.
That's not too bad. I think
That one was pretty good.
Put them on the bad spot there, boys.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right, Pete. There's one or two shooting out, but it's creating that room.
Second time round they didn't do it, Josh. See that?
Exactly. When they go up in the line, a lot easier to defend.
Yep.
As you can see from the video now that Benny zoomed out a little bit, it's going to be evident to Jai Bailey that that's what they need to work on. The shooter's not shooting out. It's the last tackle. John Johnson, dummy half. Passes it back to Watts. Chip over the top. It's going along the ground. Who's going to get to it? It's going to be Jake Hardy, but he gave flirts with the sideline and went to ground. Luckily, he would have been dragged into touch. Cody Argent, a dummy half, offloads to... I'd love to say that it is Ethan Coe. Ethan Coe tackle strongly, Jack, right behind where the markers where he played the ball.
Boys, Mick Rickland looks like he's holding an arm or something there. He just come out of a couple of tackles back, and struggling a little bit.
Also, just looking at the body language of Singleton as well. It's not very good at the moment. That's 3 plays. Some of these fronties still only back on side. We're only 10 minutes in the second half to really pick that energy up.
20 points put on you in 10 minutes.
But
Josh,
this is
going to do it to you. But they really need to lift. I tell you, they need to get some go forward. They need to get some big boppers out there and start moving forward.
So who gives them their spark?
Well, that's going to be the hard thing. We have Frank Paul there today with his offload. And, of course, I haven't seen... what's the big unit called down there? Christian Kirby. That's what they need. They need someone like that impacting off the bench.
Not to mention that injury to Will Newinghouse as well.
Yeah,
that hasn't helped definitely. But we've got Dale Watson out there. We've still got Jake Willis. We've got Ethan Edwards. And those guys really need to start carting the football forward.
But again, they're shooting out from the defensive line, not keeping a line. Joel Harrison's seen that. He's offloaded to Tim Smith. Tim Smith's going in. He's going to go for an try.
Wow.
That wasn't even a tackle attempt.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Come from nothing, hasn't it? That's come from nothing.
That was not even a step. That was a swerve and not even a tackle attempt.
And again, no straight line of defence and paying for it.
2 players shooting out again, and I was just watching that. The 2 players shot out of the line and left that side. Joel Harrison's identified it, taken it, offloaded to the fast to Tim Smith. Guys, I don't know. I was going to say just before that try, when are the teams going to wake up to themselves? I know it comes down to fitness, but the Scone defensive line for speed and fitness, someone has to match them.
Yep. Yeah, they do.
Yep. But you know on the head, mate, with those 2 or 3 blokes shooting out, it's just creating that room behind the ruck as well. And those Clydesdale, halves, they're just reading it every time. Yeah, they're actually giving it to them.
I think it's going to come down to who gets the match fitness at the end of the year. Like, Scone's going to be there. Is someone going to be able to, is there going to be a fitness spurt within one club where the boys actually say, it's not necessarily going to be, like every club in first grade is what I'm trying to say, has the quality players, but who's going to make the effort to be the fittest?
Yeah.
Well, Nelson Gardner's just about to take on that. It's the first time he'll be on there, but maybe that's the impact Singleton's going to need through the centre. We haven't had a whole lot of Matty Brock was out there for a short period of time, but I've got to say, during his period, he dented the line a couple of times, but by and large, didn't make the dent that Singleton need to go through. So it's definitely on the edges. That's where Scone are working, using their quick players. He's slotted that. That's Woods. So that'll take it to 34-6 with 32-6 with 26 to go.
Look, just behind the post there, Singleton, hands on hips, a lot of heads down.
Body language is poor.
Look, they've definitely dropped
and again,
their language.
They've had 20 points put on them, or thereabouts, in the last 15 minutes. So the body language is going to be poor. They feel like they're ragged, but what they do need to do is pick up very quickly. As Jake Hardy puts it high down to
Topless.
Hayden Topless.
Tommy Hagan barnstorming onto it. He's met in a great tackle.
Barnstorming, what a word.
He did. That was a beautiful run by Tommy Hagan. He's met there by the front rower, Zach Solomon, and taken out. And here's Ronan had him with a run. He's brushed off one, brushed off two. He's in the clear. He's made a break and he's tackled over the halfway line. Quick play the ball. John Johnson,
a stinger on his arm
inside ball from Watts to, I'm trying to see who that is with the ball at the moment. It's Daniel Ritter. John Johnson jumps from dummy half. He's found a gap. He's given it to Wicks. Wicks is in the clear. He's got support on both sides and he's passed it to What's he done there? He's passed it to Cox. I would have looked to the right side and gone to the flying Topless.
He had a player on his left-hand side who ducked back to the right and he just lost where he was. So.
Not good signs for Singleton.
John Johnson,
the floodgates have opened.
It does look like that, doesn't it, mate? But John Johnson in there at the ruck, mate, he's deadly.
Sure is.
Here we go. They're playing the ball right now, 30 metres out. Here comes Dale Watson. He takes it to the shy of the 40-metre line. He's going to get up and play the ball. Plays it. That was a quick play the ball. They're all offside. They're not straight at markers either. And Morgan Ebony makes it to the halfway line.
That was Nelson Gardner, mate. And again, we'll see what impact he has on the game.
Here we go. Singleton's going to have to try something. Don't pick out a winger or a fullback, but they've kicked it straight down the throat of Tim Smith.
Attack at the ball.
Tacked the ball at full pace, and he's up to the 40-metre line already. Take over, Matt Kenny, for a minute.
Can't
okay, Isaac Austin with the ball. Isaac plays the ball 45 metres out. Back to Wicks. Wicks on to John Johnson. John Johnson dummies and takes it to the halfway line. Goes to ground. Dummy half. Can't see who that is, but Ritter's got the ball. He's turned it back inside to Radford. Radford's hit the ground 40 metres out from Singleton's line. They've slowed that play the ball down. It's about time. Here we go. Wicks with the ball on to Topless. Topless jinks and weaves and goes one way. Freddie Adams has palmed off one. He's gone in for a second effort. Young Morgan Emity and taking him down. It's the last tackle. From second row, number 12, JJ kicks it towards the corner. It's not a bad kick. It's collected there by Singleton's Ethan Coe, and he's taken the ball down 10 metres out from his own try line.
As the set plays out, boys, just have a look at Singleton right now in their body language. Very slow. Fronties should be first ones to put their hand up and get them out of that tough area. It's not there.
Throw an umbrella over their structure at the moment there, Josh, and they're just not. There we go. Again,
wow.
Dropped it like a spud. Basically, centre field 10 yards out. This is going to give Scone a fantastic opportunity. But you're right, Josh. The body language of Singleton, hands on hips, not wanting. It's where your fronties want to get in, start running. Basically, if your fronties aren't running, taking at least two each from there to drive people out of trouble. That's where you want. Get to an edge, get to a side, and see what you do. Get to a kick, get to your 40, get to a kick. A really easy, yardage type set, but. No real structure there from the halves.
And because the forwards aren't going forward as well, your halves have got nothing to play off the back of.
Absolutely.
They've got nowhere to kick from. That's one of the tough areas to play from.
Any time now, Reg?
Yeah, no, mate, I'm just trying to do 30 things at once.
Get off your phone. We can't see that far.
Benko loves me. He's trying to talk to me. John Johnson with the ball goes towards it. He's going himself. He's going to go over. That is untouched. That is an under-sevens defence.
3 of them. Just stood there and watched him go by.
John Johnson straight under the post. Not sure who he ran past there, but
it's going to be a long night for Singleton at the moment, boys. I think you called it early. The floodgates have opened there, Josh, and I tell you, I'm not sure what Singleton need to do to stop that. Dale Watson's off at present. There's a lot of body language behind there from Singleton telling me we don't want to be here tonight.
Yeah, no, actually, just looking, I was about to say that, looking at the screen as Ben panned around the Singleton defence, there's no enthusiasm on their face then. But here we go with the goal kick from Jake Watts.
What's the end of this rut? Sorry, what's your first thoughts? What's Singleton got to do to change?
When they get at line speed, they've got to go forward. So, first of all, off this kick up, mate, Singleton need to meet them at the 20-yard line. They need a good defensive set. Keep the kick from Scone with inside the 40. Well inside the 40. Scone have got a kick from 30 yards out. Otherwise, Singleton are in a world of pain. They kick any further than over that red line, Josh, and Singleton are going to be working 90 metres or 95 metres to even go close to skin. And Watts moves in here, slot that straight over. Actually, it wasn't Watts, that was Topless. Moved in and slotted that straight over to give that a 38-6 with 21:37 on the clock there, boys. Or was Jake Watts? Again, I can't see from here.
Look, Singleton got into a huddle that time. They weren't all just standing around worrying about themselves. Seemed to be the captain or someone there taking control in the middle of the huddle saying, here's what we've got to do, boys. Let's see if that inspires them. We'll know from the kickoff.
I can't see. Jakey Hardy will take it up, and JJ Apthorpe will take it 5 metres in. He'll get wrestled around by Jordan Watson. He'll get up and play it to Wixie. Wixie will feed left to Ronan, the 5. I haven't got.
Yeah, where's the 5?
Young Ronan. JJ Johnson. We can't see, Reg. You're going to have to help us.
He's going to walk
John A. Johnson out to Ritter. Ritter will take it up.
That's better when they play just
take it up. He'll tackle just inside Scone's half, 20 metres inside by Ethan Edwards and Watson.
Nice run.
Johnson off to JJ Apthorpe again. No, it wasn't. Tommy Hagan.
Sorry, guys. I just went for a listen to see what it sounded like at home. Here we go. Collision at fullback. No, they've contested the ball. Who's going to get this one? Freddie Adams tries to bat it back, but it's still the last tackle. And they've gone to the ball. No, it's been stripped there by, I think it's Jordan Watson or someone's seething around there in pain. I think it's Brody Rinkin, is it? No, it's Zach Solomon. Zach Solomon's been. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I just went for a listen. You can actually hear at home. The listeners can hear the grandstand. I don't know how, so we'll fix that up over the coming weeks. As here we go. Singleton ruck it out with Dale Watson taking a hit up. Look at Nelson Gardner. Doesn't he look a big unit out there?
Boy, isn't he?
He does, mate, but he needs to use his speed. And this left edge, look at he's got a couple of boys. He's got Freddie Adams to run at and Jared Wicks. And they're going to be no mean feat to get over the top of. As young
Brody Rinkin turns it out to Joe Cody-Argent, who turns it underneath to a fast running. This is where they need Nelson Gardner to have a hit up.
exactly off the back of it, Mick Rinkin's walking there. He's out to Jordan Watson.
This has probably been their best set of 6 so far, Singleton, this half.
Oh, yes, most definitely. As here we go for the final. Jake Hardy puts a bomb up. It's coming down, straight down the throat. Jeez, he's as safe as a bank, isn't he?
Great take.
Great. Hayden Topless, well done. Take a bow. That was fantastic.
But Richie, you spoke before about the fitness of Scone compared to Singleton. You know that the number 17's only been on for about 5 minutes already. Hands on hips, hands on knees. You know, bad body language.
Yep.
You know, that's as an opposition player looking up, seeing that, you should have so much confidence.
Oh, most definitely. And, you know, at the end of the day, Jai Bailey coaches a great side, but they've got to want to do it.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
agree.
difference. That was a great tackle then on JJ Apthorpe by Jordan Watson. But Freddie Adams goes from dummy half. He's up over the halfway line. He's taken down. He's going to play it between the 40 and 50 metre line. John Johnson, dummy half, gives it to Daniel Ritter. Watch for the offload. But Daniel, no. Yes, he does. He gives it away.
Tommy Hagen.
Straight on to Tommy Hagen. A fast
Hagen.
That was a great tackle by Jake Hardy around legs. But he's giving him
Pretty slow feet.
He's giving him too much time as he turned back
And an easy try.
Yeah, that was
A quick play of the ball. That's just getting silly.
the second person that came into that tackle to lay on top could have given him a couple more seconds for their defenders to get back on side, but that was just class, turning it back inside to.
No, Tommy Hagen's base. He's got through. He said, "What do I do with this? I've never seen this before in my life."
The legs were going 100 mile an hour, but the rest of him wasn't travelling that
The rest
quick.
of he wanted to try himself. He wasn't looking at
He
anyone.
looked like Tony Flintstone trying to start a car. He's probably going that bloody quick.
Wow,
He was never going to pass.
he's going to watch this back and kill you guys.
He's gone straight to it. I've got white line fever. Get out of my way, son.
Tommy Hagen shuffle.
Yeah, what do they call him? The social butterfly.
Well, I tell you. The way I just said
treadmill was in the middle of the oval because that's what he was running on out there. He wasn't going anywhere.
No, most
He did
definitely.
look that. A quick play, though. Again, that boys. Ruck speed again. Straight up, play the ball.
Yep.
Topless, straight in under the post.
Yep.
Untouched, basically.
Yep.
So, you know, look, Singleton regrouping now. I tell you that the message those trainers are going to run out there at the moment, it's a tough one to send out.
It's going to be good.
What are you going to do? 17 minutes to go?
Yep.
It's going to be a long, long night for them boys.
Yep.
Well, what you want to do is try and keep them below 50 if you're Singleton.
Yep.
Yeah, at the moment, Pete, I'm going to say that's.
I don't think there's much chance of that
It's going to be
happening.
a bit of a chore.
Yep.
But look, you know, the boys are jogging back there at the moment, and to tell you it's a good sign at least. But you called it out there earlier, Josh. Young Nelson's going on when I'm hoping he's going to pick it up. But hands on hips, bent over.
Yep.
That sort of body language from a person that's been on there for the whole game
Yep.
for less than 6 minutes.
Yep.
That's got to improve.
Yep.
Looking at him. Hey?
And what type of confidence as well do you think it's going to give Singleton next week if this score continues to blow out?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
look, they've been averaging 40
Yeah.
most games.
Well, Scone, have you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, again, Jai will take that away. He'll know who as we kick off there to... is that Isaac Austin will run it back in from the eastern side.
He had a little juggle.
Yeah, he's picked her up there. That's no trouble.
As they play the ball, now we've got Jake Colson, I'd like to say that is. But
No, I think Jake's off, mate.
okay, well, yeah, no, it's Jake Colson.
Well, he was off a minute ago.
Number 15.
He's back on.
Here we go. Tommy Hagen, the man that found himself in the clear and got whiplash, gets tackled just shy of the 40-metre line by Ethan Edwards and Luke Gardner. John Johnson from dummy half off to Freddie Adams. Freddie Adams takes it towards Brady Rinkin. He's belted for his troubles. As here we go, John Johnson in a dummy half. Off to Wicks. No, Jake Colson.
There it is, Jake line again.
So look at it, yeah, they're not coming up in a straight line, and when they do, it's only one or two. Here's Watts with the kick. He's found Ethan Coe. Come on, Ethan, put the foot down there. That's what I like about him. He puts his foot down flat out and goes straight into the big boys. Bit of a high shot appealed there by Jake Hardy, but no, it wasn't to be. Jake Hardy dummy half. He comes out, he gives the ball to Cody Argent, is it? Yes, it is Cody Argent. He's tackled Jaden Stewart, sorry. Cody Argent's got the different colour boots. As here's Nelson Gardner. See, look at that line. They've just passed it to Nelson.
Certainly, Aaron Watts is talking half-time about line speed. And line speed off Scone tonight in the second half has been brilliant, Josh.
Yep.
As here we go, Scone still on the defence. Singleton just over their own 40-metre line, goes from dummy half. He's been tackled just shy of the
runs are easy to defend against.
Absolutely.
halfway line. Last tackle. Singleton kick straight downfield. Are they going to pick out the fullback? No, they've found ground. Topless gets it on the first bounce. He brings it to the centre of the field. He puts his foot down the accelerator and runs straight into Ethan Edwards, and over the top that's better laying on the ruck by Rinkin.
Mick Rinkin.
And now we've got flat out shot. I think that might be number 16 for Singleton is Carl Gilmore. That was a great shot. But Singleton need to get off the defensive line. Another one by Nelson Gardner, but it's Isaac Austin who bumps out of it. He gets to nearly shy of the 50-metre line. Laying on the ruck again, Ethan Edwards. That, mate, you've got to say play the ball down. You've done a great job. Here's Tim Smith from dummy half. He's been, great shot.
Can't cop that, sunshine.
Nelson Gardner has folded him.
Carl Gilmore and Nelson Gardner, yeah.
Here's what's with the ball on Isaac Austin. Isaac Austin gives it out to number 4, who is Joel Harrison. Should know that by now. He's been very, very damaging. Plays the ball back. They go on the blind side with Clydesdale. No, John Johnson's lost the ball. It was John Johnson, from dummy half.
Yeah, something's going to miss there. That we've come back from a knock-on. Unusual for Jono Johnson to spill the ball. That'll be a changeover. About, I'm going to say 30 yards out and 10 yards in for Singleton. Bit of a let-off there for the Bulls.
I don't mind him trying that attack on the last there down the blind side. You're well down in your own half, well ahead on the scoreboard.
44-6, why wouldn't you have a crack?
If you're Singleton, though, Jai Bailey, how do you fix this? With the blokes have to sit back and watch a video session, obviously, but how do you fix it?
If they sit back and watch a video session of it, they'll see in the first half that once they warmed into the game after the first 10 minutes or so, they were in the contest.
They
haven't come out of the sheds in the second half.
The thing is, there's small areas that can be fixed. It's not if they're huge changes. You know, getting a little bit of polish. We speak a lot about tonight on the under those sets. Just work on that line speed, a little bit harder around the ruck. The things that can be fixed. But at the moment they're just not showing it.
Not at all.
Let's here we go. Last tackle. Singleton on the 40-metre line. What are they going to do? Go to the air boys. Jordan Watson. He pokes it through. No, he doesn't. He doesn't even make it through.
Poor option.
It's gone straight
his
to.
Kicking game hasn't been brilliant all night. He's had a couple of good runs late in the first half, but that's about all.
Yep. Here we go. Time out. Let's see what this is for.
And we talked about it earlier. We talked about it at half time there, Josh, about the halves. How are we going with that? Jordan, a fantastic player.
Yep.
I think his last tackle option sometimes good guidance in that respect where we need the old head.
Yep. So with Jimmy Bradley, how's his prognosis? How long till he's back?
Look, there was a hamstring there a couple of weeks ago, and it was still repairing as far as I know. I think he's still 2 weeks away, mate.
Okay.
You could take that other headset and microphone and have a chat to Jai if you wanted to and see what his thoughts are on this second half. But I'm sure he'd look.
Just looking at his body language, mate, I might give him a little bit of distance.
I'll probably leave him down there on his own.
I reckon you're spot on, Josh. Someone's tried to push you up there, Chip.
Yeah, notice I didn't put my hand up.
Well done.
They were at the halfway line. It's played by Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw's now out there, and again to Ritter. Ritter has
four people are running and standing up.
Yeah, he's got to be close to get up there with the points for Player of the Year this year. As he's well defensed, well slowed down the ruck. That's what the teams have got to learn. Scone is a dangerous
threat. Look at the line there. I tell you there, JJ Eptrop caught that. That was a try.
He was gone through the line.
That was a try. Great hole, great line.
I love watching Scone play, and I'm picking the faults in the opposition because I want to see a tighter match.
Yep.
That's the only reason. It's not saying Singleton, this, that. I want to see tighter matches.
Yep.
If someone can match it with Scone and keep it to a 2-point ball game, we'd be seeing some very, very quality football.
I think if I replayed this match, if I was doing a video session on this, I'd cut down versions of Scone and the speed they attack the football.
Yep.
That speed there, JJ Apsel, he was through that. He was through that hole for all money. And that's purely from speed at dummy halves, speed at halves, and speed at the line from the attacking side.
Luke Gardner takes it from that scrum. I'll tell you what, he doesn't give up trying. And that wrestle again is there we go. Yeah. Penalty off Jordan Watson.
Penalty. Yeah, and
just hung on too long there.
Sorry, Jake Watts. He that was too much of a wrestle. But as I was saying, Luke Gardner, mate, he doesn't stop trying.
Absolutely. There's a few boys out there that haven't stopped trying, Reg, but again, it's very, very hard when you're on the back of a lesson in footy. We've got Carl Gilmore.
Do you think it's structure? Do you think that's what they need more of? Is that the word?
There's a whole heap of things out there that Jai's going to work on, and I think Josh has spoken a lot of it. Half football, Brody Rinkin will take it at dummy half. He'll pick up Carl Gilmore. Is it Carl Gilmore?
It's Matty Brock, mate, with
Matty
the ball
Brock,
at the
come
moment.
on, different shape, same size.
Oh, he's lost it.
But
He did go for the quick play of the ball, and
He was trying to get back up to play it quick, yeah.
look, I'd go as close to he's just given away a penalty. Oh, he's gone for 10.
Yep. Sent him for 10. Obviously, didn't like the decision.
Is that gone for 10?
Matty Brock.
No, it's not. Is it Matty Brock? Or yeah, it is. Here we go.
That's nice, Luca. None.
Here we go. Let's have a listen to what they say to you.
Do you want me to repeat it? Not really, it was bad. But yeah. No need for it. Yep.
Oh, that's well done by Luke. And well refereed by Jesse Rado. He said, do you want me to repeat what he said? No, not really.
Thank you.
So that's Singleton down to 12 players now. As they've kicked for touch. Halfway line, they'll get the ball. Now Singleton have a lot of defence to do. Freddie Adams takes a tap, offloads it to JJ Apthorpe. He takes it flat out. That's a great hit by Nelson Garden, but now they need to back it up. There's only one marker. Hawkshaw goes out to Tommy Hagan. They're making good metres at the moment. Singleton need to get off this line. Hawkshaw dummy half. Offloads to Watts. Watts brings back under number 14 for Scone, and I don't know who that is.
That's
Joel Harrison, sorry. 15. John Johnson turns back under Freddie Adams. Freddie Adams had a flying Hayden topless, but they got blocked by young Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw plays the ball, gets off to John Johnson. Here you go, flat out to grab a kick. What was that? What the hell?
Wow.
Pass again, goal.
Let's pull all the stops out.
Wow.
What's going on there, boys?
Jesus Christ. Well, I
I
can't
thought the
believe
kick was
that.
too heavy to start with. I didn't think there was any need to play at the kick.
Hey, desperate times for desperate measures, but that's just stupid.
Yeah, well.
Well, you've summed it up. That's exactly what that was.
Yep. Because we just spoke before about body language from Joe Bailey and me definitely not going to interview him right now. I'm sitting here watching Watson. Geez, he must demand a lot of his players. You know, for a team that's, up by nearly 40, still not looking satisfied with what they
There's Matt Kenny with his Billy Benny Hill music. The number 9, Wicks, passes it off to Tom Hagan. Tom Hagan takes it hard and fast, but again, the Singleton defensive line not fast enough to get up there. They're nearly 20 metres out for their line. Hawkshaw dummy half. Passes it out to Watts. Watts passes it on to... like to there we go, offload to Austin anyway. Austin's just going to stroll over.
That's easy. I tell you, that's strength. That's strength from Isaac Austin. That's just pure strength. He's pushed through well there.
But there was 2 or 3 guys that were on him there, and they just couldn't hold him, and no one was thinking about legs.
That's what I mean. It's a nice little shift. Nice little shift, but good strength from Isaac Austin. He's got a couple on him. He's carried them over the line.
Scone have played exceptionally well tonight, and like I said, they're a class outfit.
Yep.
But you can't go one out from the line defensively, and especially running when you've got Joel Harrison running at you and the size of those people, guys, you can't go backwards with them.
Yep.
You've got to meet them.
Now, look, when you're down inside your 10, if you start going backwards, you're only going to let them go in over the line.
Isaac Austin. So just asked them. They're asking us because, you know what, we've got that little screen here that we can see. No one can see over the other side of the field, and that's where Benko said. Bomber did it last time we were up here, and it was a night game. It was much more hard to see from here, but they're going to love this new stuff. So you be up at Aberdeen tomorrow, Pete?
Mate, I'm hoping to. Depends on what the bride lets me up 2 days in a row, but definitely hoping to get to Aberdeen tomorrow.
It's going to be a great clash there, Aberdeen taking on Denman in first grade for the Where There's a Will game.
Yep.
And I know you've got your curry, mate, but it's been fantastic having you up here today. There's about 7 minutes left, I'll just say that. But Matt Kenny, big appreciation, mate, for taking over the host of that show on during the
good
week,
fun, mate. Good fun, and no doubt Joshua will get you up there at one stage, mate, when we fit it into your calendar, mate. Up on the couch on the footy feed.
Pete Holland can come in and have a crack too. It's just Morgan didn't turn up.
He's missed that goal from 48-6 with 6:52 on the clock. Singleton definitely the language now walking back to the line as opposed to the last couple of times. I mean, the boys obviously on the end of the lesson on football tonight. Yep. The game changed very quickly, boys. It was a game of 2 halves.
Yep.
2 quick tries after half time.
Yep.
Potentially 8-all going into the break. We're now at 48-6, and that changed within about 10 minutes into the second half.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what dynamics have changed. I'm not sure what's been said. What do you reckon, Josh?
If you're going to beat Scone, you have to be on for 80 minutes.
Absolutely.
You just can't slip at any point throughout the game. Yeah, and those decision making needs to be spot on every time. Really, think back to kicking, not making the sideline, on penalties, not taking the 2, those silly missed tackles, they come back and hurt you. If Scone were to get beaten or we're going to get close to Scone this year, you've got to be on for the whole game.
At the moment, they're a couple of yards quicker, Scone, aren't they?
Yeah,
off the line in defence and also in play the ball.
But that's what I'm saying. Even then at the beginning of the match, but we've got 5 minutes 50 remaining on the clock, and they're still playing like it's the beginning of the match, whereas Scone are going backwards in defence. Singleton are not meeting them, and if so, they're running out of the line individually and then going back with them as we see Watts go across field. Brings Austin. Oh, is that Nelson
That's
Gardner?
a good shot.
Is it?
But there hasn't been enough of those right throughout the match. I mean,
that's Carl Gilmore.
Carl Gilmore as Hawkshaw scoots from dummy half and makes it up over the 50-metre line. He's nearly 40. It's the last tackle. Don't give away a penalty now. Here we go, Scone with the final kick on the last tackle. They're torpedo bomb up.
Running up, and he backed away from it. And there you go.
Oh, no. Smith.
That's
Tim
the
Smith,
50.
Tim Smith has just cruised through and grabbed that.
There was no urgency.
52-6.
He's come to it.
Yep.
He's fallen short, no doubt.
Yep.
Horrible football to catch. It's one of them spiralling punts. You think you're under it in the last minute, you're not.
It just falls away from you. That's
not.
exactly what happened to him.
Absolutely. Look, again, he's underneath it. He's attacked the football. I think he's done everything right in that space. But unfortunately, she's bouncing Timmy Smith. Was it Timmy Smith?
Yeah, Timmy Smith.
Timmy Smith just cleaned her up and unscathed, going through.
But also,
post 52-6.
Tim Smith's chasing the kick, but there was another couple of Singleton players there that could have seen that and jumped on.
Absolutely.
Urgency.
Absolutely.
You know what it comes down to? We've seen a lot of kicks like that tonight. There's no pressure on the kickers.
No.
Mate, he's got all the time in the world.
On the roles reversed, Singleton have 3 Scone defenders coming at them.
Yep.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
So here we go. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting. Look, it'll be interesting to see how Aberdeen play tomorrow against Denman too. They're hosting Aberdeen. Aberdeen's hosting Denman, of course. Denman, the fresh players, they've been up here tonight. Adam Gretsch, we've seen him up here. Jacob Ellis having a watch. They'll take away a lot of things too. But Aberdeen tomorrow, this is going to be a big test for them.
Yeah, no doubt. The Denman side,
Denman got the fresh people.
All four.
Dylan Thorne's back playing there, so
he is too.
This is going to be an interesting match, and Aberdeen, of course, we can't go past the fact that they've got a great side for the past few years. Liam Forum's kicking game. If they come up here tonight, this is how you don't take on Scone.
They're going to struggle. Definitely going to struggle to take on Scone. Where does glass come from? You're not allowed glass in a football match.
No, I don't know, mate. Was it a Jim Beam bottle? Cause
I don't know. He's still not allowed glass in here.
One of those fancy kombucha drinks. I think he's in the wrong spot, this guy.
Yeah. Still doesn't matter. Anyway,
here we go.
Jake Hardy will kick off once again, see if he kicks it to the same spot and doesn't. Yeah, okay, let's try something different.
As it comes
we'll go down to Tim Smith.
That was Tim Smith that took that on the floor, and he's offloaded to number 16, John Johnson. It's then Tim Smith scoots from dummy half. He's found a marker lazy, not getting in front there, but he's taken down. They're slowing down to play the ball now. Singleton.
They're slowing it down, but they're still not setting themselves, Singleton.
Look at this. Morgan Emily goes out to shut down, but again, created a gap.
Bang, bang,
here we
bang,
go. Right in front of us. He's dropped the ball, but as you saw there, Morgan Emmett come in off his wing as a shooting, and there's a massive gap out here. It would have been a foot race between Ronan Haddon and Luke Gardner down that right-hand corridor.
Mate, I think Luke Gardner had him covered, but either way, it shows when you get that shooter, particularly from a wing.
Yes.
He's come in from the wing. He's tackling on the inside of Luke Gardner, on the inside of the centres, mate. That's going to leave a massive hole for people to push on the inside, push out to make that tackle. So we'll pack the scrum 20 metres in and 5 metres inside Scone territory.
Singleton, and it's Watson, brings it out from dummy half and offloads it to Morgan Emity, who takes the tackle. That's a quick play the ball. That's what they want. Here goes Rinkin, offloads to. Is that your mate Carl Gilmore?
That's Carl, mate, in the number 16.
He's been good tonight to beat and see him, I think.
Absolutely.
30 metres out. The dummy half offloads to Brody Rinkin. On to Nelson Gardner. Nelson Gardner's met. They know. See, that's the thing. Nelson Gardner's damaging players.
Look at Scone's line speed now. They have got some fire in their belly. Look at this.
As here we go, Singleton. They're looking for players.
Up in front of them. Look at this.
There we go. Morgan Emity with the ball. He's took a left-footed step, but he's beaten Ronan Haddon and taken down by Freddie Adams. Slow play the ball. Luke Gardner with the ball. Offloads to Watson. Then on to Ethan Edwards, who straightens it up and takes it to 20 metres out. It's the last tackle. 1 minute 19 left on the clock. Spins it out wide. They've got to go for a quick kick option, surely. But they've spun it wide. It's off to... Here we go. Ethan Coe puts a little grubber along the ground. It's picked up.
Why not? Don't crack at anything, son.
Topless. It's just not been structured.
Yeah,
that's all I'm
54 to
saying.
6 inside of the last minute. It doesn't
Give it a
matter.
crack, son.
As Hawkshaw will go to dummy half. He'll take it. No, he won't. He'll offload and pass it on to John Johnson, is it? Or is that... Who have we got there, boys?
How would I know?
It's number 3. Number 3. It was that wasn't Josh Adams. Anyway, Josh Adams moves into dummy half now. He'll take a scoot, no doubt. Here he goes down the left-hand side. He's come straight to the defensive line. Nelson Gardner there to meet him with Carl Gilmore. Luke Gardner. They look the same. There you go, Luke. Have that one. As Hawkshaw offloads to Rinkin. There we go. It's goes into clear again by Wicks. Wicks pops it over the top to Topless. It's going to be a flick pass back into Hayden.
Tripped over his own feet. But
Ronan Haddon, and he's wrestled to the ground by Luke Gardner. Last tackle. It'd nearly be their last play of the game.
5 seconds to go.
5 seconds. It's down the blind side. Hawkshaw picks up Ronan. No, it isn't. It's you're kidding. JJ Apthorpe is just running under the post.
Oh, you kidding me?
With very little effort.
I can't see a thing from here.
He propped on, he stepped, and that was it. He was straight past him. They were going the wrong way.
Didn't miss a whole lot there, Josh. I couldn't see a thing.
They just literally stopped still. There was no defender that went to...
No, look, the Singleton defence was heading towards the sideline, which is the way he was running at the time. He stepped back inside. They kept going, and he was clear, straight in under the post.
That's here we go. Who's your guys? I've got to ask you. I know we're going to get some interviews. Who's your player of the match?
Look, for me, it's got to come down to either Rinkin or was he running?
Radford, you mean?
Radford. They're both of those guys. I think on the back of their leg speed and drive.
Yep, I agree.
I think has brought Scone home. They go forward.
Rinkin, you said. Ritter. That's all. You confused me a little bit.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, look,
Ritter
has had a great game, both halves. Radford was a little bit quieter in the second half to what he was in the first. He was damaging in the first half, but not as much impact in the second half.
Well done, mate. I can see with Scone, they know their role. They will play their role to their T. But for me, I think, Radford was a standout tonight. He was unreal.
I'd agree. One of those two has got to get. Although I think Radford he left in the second half.
Yeah.
So we can. Ritter's got the second half on him, but even so, mate. A lot of. We'll go back to halves. Let's talk about halves.
Yep.
Who was the dominant halves in the game? I think Scone had the dominant halves. Had the dominant fullbacks.
They read the defensive line a lot better. They could see when there was a gap and they got the ball out there. Singleton, they struggled all night.
No Adam Clydesdale the second half either.
Maybe he was a guy that went to work. But even so, nothing changed here. You got John Johnson.
Yep.
Wow. Well, he didn't play NRL, but hey, he's one of the best in group to run you'll ever see it at the dummy half. He can kick, he can tackle, he can do everything. And certainly nothing was lost from the acting half's position when John Johnson goes in there. Scored a try untouched himself, didn't he?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I've just got to say, and it's not it's a constructive criticism towards Singleton. That's probably their worst performance I've seen for 2 years.
A little bit different structure there too. Will Newhouse moving into the centres.
Yeah.
You've got some different dynamics. I meant to say Luke Gardner's gone out the centres. Will Newhouse has come in from the centres into second row. That's a different structure that is straight up. So you've got Brody Rinkin playing in half, Jordan Watson, Jake Smith. He's playing reserve grade tomorrow. Is that a call that an old head tonight may have changed the way that game was, Reggie? Yeah,
look, I don't know. I mean, Tom Hagen, of course, he found himself in that space and didn't know what to do. Gave himself a bit of a whiplash. But look, Scone, to their credit, it's where there's a Will Shield, the Will Garrigan Shield, and they've retained it here.
They came out.
Josh has gone running off to try and find someone. But look, Topless at the back as well.
Yeah, Topless.
No mistakes whatsoever under the high ball or anything.
Doesn't he?
He had an outstanding game tonight as well from fullback.
No, look,
Sydney, he gapped Singleton a couple of times on that right edge.
Yeah.
But again, it's the Scone side themselves, and Josh has just gone out to catch a couple of them in the middle of the field there and catch their feelings on the where there's a wheel round. As he moves in, he's going to grab hold of someone. Here he grabs.
Here's he grabbing. He's got Joel Harris. Well, it looks like he's got Joel Harrison. And did he go straight after Joel because he thinks I've got a man crush on him? Or what's the go there, Josh?
Boys, with Joel Harrison out here, mate. What's your thoughts on the game tonight, bud?
Yeah, obviously game of 2 halves probably. Probably lucky the lights went out there.
Yep.
And I heard Reg does have a crush on me actually, so I'll cop that.
I'll actually put your face up as my profile picture for a week. There you go.
Oh, don't do it.
It's all right, mate. No offence taken.
No, that's all good, mate. No, great game today, Joel. Of course, a bit surprised by Singleton. They've got a bit more in the tank in most other games. I think that they were just off form tonight, but you guys just how did Scone get beaten? Can they be beaten?
Mate, I don't know. We seem to pull it together. If we get a slow start, we seem to turn it around. You know, just a few errors and penalties early seem to be our Achilles heel. Once we start completing sets, we're pretty hard to beat. So
Watsy seems to be even when you're winning by big margins, giving you a bit of a grilling at times. Is he like that at training? Is he a bit of a Wayne Bennett?
Mate, he is, he's not afraid to cut the shit, so to speak. Excuse my French.
Yep.
But yeah, if the boys are talking too much trash and playing around, he pulls them right up.
Like you guys were up 40-6 or 42-6, and he was still an angry little hand over here on the sideline. I don't know if I'd like to pull on a blue and white jumper.
Oh mate, he's a competitor. He loves it.
Well, thanks for your time, Joel. It's and well done. Where there's a Will, of course, Will was one of your close mates, and it's probably a big honour for you guys to retain that shield now again.
Mate, it is. It means a lot to the club, obviously with the foundation now, but obviously on a personal note for all the players as well. One of our best mates, so it's great to get the win.
Yep. Well, good stuff, mate. There you go, enjoy with your mates.
Thanks, Reggie.
Thanks, mate. As here we see Daniel Ritter receiving the Where There's a Will shield. I can't see who that is presenting the shield to him at the moment, but great scenes out here. It's a big day.
It's been a huge day, like 35 games of footy played here. And Scone Rugby Club also have to be thanked for what they did. Like, it was meant to be a home game for them.
They moved their scene.
And they moved.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I said that on the couch the other night. The boys, the Rugby Union Club, got on board with the initiative and moved the club. That's fantastic.
So well done to them as well.
Didn't want to go near Jai Bailey, mate?
Give him 3 days, mate.
He's quite an approachable guy.
Go and throw the headset. Go and throw it to him. We'll have a chat to him. Actually, you know, after this, we'll let them do the presentation. Go and grab Jesse Rutter, the referee. It'd be great to have. He's joined us on the couch before, but
yes.
Really appreciate it. I know Pauline was wrapped if you guys were playing today.
See Daffy Reynolds right now speaking about Will. Oh, mate, that bloke has done a fantastic effort for Group. How good is it for Group 21 though? Like even the sponsors, Bengalla. You know, it's a magnificent thing. It's a magnificent event. You know, I take my hat off to the bloke. Like I said, I worked with him, and he's a very passionate bloke. And if he puts his name to something, you guarantee it's going to be done properly.
Hopefully sorted.
I was at the media day on Monday, where all the captains from each of the clubs participating this weekend, we're all there. Yeah, it was a fantastic event to get down there, chat to them all, find out what it meant to everybody.
All the club and Pauline's out there. Congratulations to all the first grade players. She's shaking all the Singleton hands. Thanks very much. And the guys are all coming over. Thanks very much for the day. They're stoked just to be involved.
Yeah, no, most definitely. As Josh is just waiting to grab someone, but it's a fantastic day. And the Singleton Club, they'll go away and rebuild for this. You know, like I said, Jai Bailey's a top bloke. He's a great coach. He's a great president for the club. All they can do is build on it from here.
Look, it was about the speed. Scone, we know, well, very well drilled and fit. You mentioned it through the call there, Reggie, that, you know, what side's going to come up with a bit more fitness and start to match them in that speed and all. And that's all it is, just the little things. The finish to your set of 6. Get that one line of defence going up. No one shooting up out of line because it really hurt them tonight.
Yeah, as you know, we like to promote our referees in Group 21 as well. And Jesse Rutter was the referee in that match, and he's taken some time out. Josh, you've got him there with you.
Just here with Jesse, the first grade referee for today, mate. What's your thoughts on the clash, bud?
Yeah, pretty good game. The first half was unreal, but it shouldn't have blown out like that.
Oh, look, I'm just going to throw it out there. We got told it was your hair straightener in the dressing sheds left on for the blackout.
Oh, I don't have hair long enough for a straight edge. It might have been yours.
Maybe it was Matt Kenny's then.
Could have been.
Mate, just from a personal perspective, mate, how's it feel to be a part of the day like this?
I've done the main game from where there's a Woolry in the last 3 years, and it's unreal. Like, donating your payments, but it makes you feel like you've done something to help,
And does it feel like the game's just that little bit more inspiration, that little bit more to get out of it today? It feels...
Yeah, mate, yeah, definitely. I love refereeing, but this game's something special, and grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, nice.
Now, you guys had a referees meeting during the week, all referees. I haven't even spoken about this to you, so I'm just going to bring it up.
Should have come, mate. You should have come.
I could have come. Oh, no, I was awake. I would have come, though. Next time we'll come to your referees meeting and tell you how to ref.
Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
I'll tell you what.
Look, I'll tell you what, I think you've done a pretty fine job tonight.
Thanks heaps, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. What I was going to say to you is you've done a fantastic job. Is there something, have you spoken about the ruck speed and all that during that meeting last week?
No, we didn't really touch on it, mate, but as officials of the game, I know we sort of talked before the game and half time. I know things we need to work on, things I want to work on, things the boys have picked up. So yeah, just ref what we see, but yeah.
And obviously something you did talk about was the touch judges getting more involved, because we've seen a lot of that today. And last weekend we heard you say that, it's always great to have that support from your touch judges.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Some of them, I don't know, whether they are just a bit nervous sometimes. They don't like it, not don't like it, but they're just a bit scared to say things. But